What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Game Changer Weekly here at bodyslam.net. I am Cassidy, Haynes, owner of bodyslam.net. I'm joined by my man, Mike Hamley, and we got a special guest this week, guys. I got something special for you. A couple days late. We usually run the show on Thursdays. We had some scheduling issues, me having back issues. So we brought KG, the voice of Game Changer Wrestling, the man himself, here to hang out with us today and talk about Game Changer Wrestling and everything GCW. So, guys, what's happening? KG, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Allow me to say what up, though, what is really good, though, what is truly great, though, and, of course, for my friend from Kings Road Wrestling, what is truly popping, though?
Hey,
that is the question. I think Cody Rhodes, maybe the second biggest story coming out of Atlanta with the huge impending Atlanta debut of Game Changer Wrestling this weekend at the world-famous center stage.
Yeah, that's right. 7 days from today, man. A week from tonight. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be better enough to go to Atlanta. I was supposed to be in Orlando this week, and my doctor was like, "Are you fucking crazy? Like, are you stupid?" He was like, "Are you stupid?" He's like, "I know you can't drive." So he's like, "Are you dumb thinking you're going to get in a plane?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm dumb." And he's like, "Don't do it, please."
Right.
So I'm here. But next weekend, I can go 3 hours to Atlanta. So I will be in Atlanta next weekend. So
outstanding.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. Like, I love that venue. Center Stage is one of my favorite places to watch wrestling ever since I was a kid.
Wow.
Let alone just I grew up watching it. I grew up watching WCW in that building, and I've been there a few times for Ring of Honor recently, and it's just a cool place to be. You're gonna really like it. You're gonna love it. I think you're gonna dig it.
I've never set foot in the building. I've just watched it on television extensively, and I can't wait to be there and to be part of it, to add it to the list of great venues I've got to work with Game Changer Wrestling, like the Hammerstein Ballroom, you know what I mean? Or the Ukrainian Cultural Center.
Dude, I love that building you guys run last weekend, man. It's one of my favorite buildings that you have too. It's just so beautiful, man. It's so beautiful, visually pleasing building to see you guys in there like last weekend.
Sometimes I'll be at the venue, and then I'll look at a picture on social media of the venue. And sometimes when you're just there and you're focused on what you're doing, you lose sight of what it actually looks like. Sometimes I'll see a picture and be like, "Holy fuck!" And then I'll just look up and be like, "Oh yeah, there it all is." Like,
yeah, man.
It's so in the zone.
It's so pretty. Like, I just love the architecture is just beautiful. The colors are great. It's so unique too. It's great, man. And last weekend the shows were hot too, man. That was a hot crowd.
Oh man, I love the history too. It has a punk rock history. Sorry, like punk rock and hardcore music.
Tell us about that, because I didn't know much about the building other than just you guys running there. So what kind of stuff's what?
Well, I guess when you look at the size of the venue and the location, like, there's got to be either currently or in the past some amazing shit going on there. And it was a fan on the GCW Patreon pointed it out to me and Brett that there's a huge punk rock and hardcore music history there. So that was a place where in the early days of hardcore and punk rock, you could go see the Bad Brains, but Henry Rollins would come out and sing a song with them. You could go see. Cool. Suicidal Tendencies. You can go see a Minor Threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the godfathers of everything. So when you're on that stage, for example, commentary set on the stage, and I'm just sitting there doing commentary with Dave Prazak or Lenny Leonard, and you're on the same stage that Ian Mackay or Mike Muir or Henry Rollins and all these people were on, and you think of all the energy in the room, and it is a juxtaposition, obviously, I think, to have GCW in such a beautiful room, like the violence and the beauty. But then that's a similar juxtaposition to having, like, the Bad Brains play in that room. I can't even imagine what that must be like. And I got to look into it. There must be some film footage. I've seen a lot of cool pictures from the Ukrainian Cultural Center, but I'd like to see old color footage of punk rock and hardcore bands going all out in that room just to get the whole feel, you know?
I grew up a hardcore kid, and I often compare GCW to wrestling's version of kind of going to a hardcore show.
I couldn't agree more.
It's DIY, but you have the most diehard devoted community that everyone's just there because they love what they're going to see and they love each other and they just want to go have a fucking blast and watch have a good time and watch a good show.
I always think of that Rancid lyric, like, all these bands, all these people, like, all these friends, and we were equals. And that speaks of hardcore, it speaks of punk rock, and it speaks of GCW. Like, there's no separation between the fans and the performers and vice versa. And we are all in it together. It is us versus them. It is us against the world. You being there makes you part of something. And that's so, the higher up the whatever you want to call it. Like when you can go to a televised wrestling product and you could feel it and love it and whatever, but it's not the same as literally having a huge impact and effect on the event itself. You know what I mean? Your ticket purchase, your cheers, your boos, all that stuff, it literally makes the show, you know?
Hell yeah.
That's true. So last weekend, you ran what, 3? Well, you did 2. GCW did 2 shows at the Ukrainian Culture Show, and then you had LA Fights. So let's touch on that, man. So let's run down the results for, was it Friday night and Saturday night, or was it Saturday and Sunday? My days are off.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. So yeah, Friday night was Welcome to Heartbreak.
Man.
And let's see, it started out hot, man. You had the tag team, the Briscoes, against Juicy Finau and is it Finau or Finau? I can't remember.
Finau.
Juicy
Finau and Juicy
Jacob
is a great way to remember it.
All right, and Jacob Fatu in that match, bro. Those guys, that was some hard hitting shit, man.
I love anybody versus the Briscoes. The Briscoes, to me, are the greatest. They're legends. They're gods. They're great dudes as well. Very personable and kind and all that. But then, yeah, Big Toco and Juicy. Big Toco, Juicy Finau, and Jacob Fatu. I love them personally, especially I know they're more happy, friendly side, but to see this darker, super violent side and dangerous side is more frightening. You know what I mean? But what a battle.
Yeah, I like this version of Juicy a lot better than the happy, you know, it's just, this is so much more serious. You know, I was like, that's a big, scary dude, man. To see him just go in there and just wreck shop with Jacob Fatu I think that's a fucking hell of a team, man. I love that pairing. So
yeah, Juicy right now is at an airport in Mexico on his way to make his Mexico debut, which is awesome.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, another great talent who put in the work, and then they step onto that GCW platform. The whole world sees them, and off they go to more opportunity. You know.
And if I remember correctly, wasn't he just doing like ring work or helping with the ring crew to begin with for like the collective?
He on his own contacted us and asked if he could come help without even trying to say, I'm a wrestler, can I get on the show? He just asked if we needed any help at the collective in Indianapolis. And he came out. And, you know, a lot of people who help, they're not actually there when you need anything. They're not there to do anything. And if you call out their name, if you ask anyone where they are, if you send them a text, they're unreachable.
Yeah.
Juicy was omnipresent, and he was building the ring, like doing work, and look at him. So everyone would just notice, like, who the fuck is that? And he's super kind, super personable. And then you'd hear his story and talk to him, and you're like, man, this guy's the man. And everybody kind of took a shine to him. And there ended up being a spot open up in something. I forget what the reason was, but everyone was kind of just like, yo.
It wasn't a scramble? I think it was a scramble match or something like that. He showed up in that and looked great and like stole the show really because
Yes, and you know the crowd in the building all, you know, was just aware of his presence and whatever, and then people will maybe smoke a blunt with them outside allegedly or whatever. Yeah. And then they're connected as well. You know what I mean? And take a hit for the working man.
Yeah.
And then
exactly, since you mentioned it.
It's like the fans were in on it in that they noticed this massive guy. He might be the guy helping them find their seat or whatever. So they loved seeing him rise to the occasion. And Ricky Morton and other people, everyone and their mother endorsed him and put him over on Twitter. And it just, that was his start. And before that, he was just essentially like an unknown wrestler. Strangely enough, from my area. He's here from the San Francisco Bay Area. I had seen his name, but I had never seen him work before. I had never met him until the collective.
Oh, that's cool.
Good Samaritan will beat your ass, though.
Oh, God. Dude, I can't even imagine. I just, you know, he'll often have a can of Modelo or Pabst in his hand, and it's like an Andre the Giant thing where the can just looks like a little thimble in that massive hand.
His chops scare me. Like,
oh God, I love this since the way you explained it too, because the way you guys now have set up Big Vin versus him at LA Fights, it's a similar thing. Because that's like how I recognize Big Vin is I saw him out there when I was there at your shows. I saw him set up the ring, doing stuff. Maybe allegedly might have hung out outside with him and caught a buzz, you know, and just talking. And then I got to see him work. I hung out with him and saw him around doing stuff for all weekend before I even saw him actually wrestle. Then when I saw him wrestle, I was like, oh shit, that's all. No, is it Emo Fight? So I actually met him at Emo Fight before I actually saw him work at the Showboat like a month later. So it's the same thing. So I love that you guys put them together for this upcoming Dallas show. I think that's an incredible matchup, and it's similar stories too, kind of the the way you explain that, it just being like got everybody's attention and how that works out. It's just funny.
And just stood out as people, and because of their massive size, you notice them. But then when they do get the opportunity, they deliver, which is amazing. And not everybody can do that. When it's time to shine, it's do or die. And some people crumble under the pressure, some people freeze, and other people go out and own it.
Yeah. And I always like seeing Jacob Fatu come through and work for you guys too.
I love Jacob.
He's awesome. And
I've gotten to know and work with him for many, many years. He was a star out here in Northern California. And it still boggles my mind that he never got a TV contract, you know what I mean, to wrestle on television and wrestle in the big arenas.
Or how about we say a good TV contract to wrestle on TV? Because he was with MLW, but I mean, that's not much TV, you know.
What TV is that?
Exactly.
No, I'm just serious. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
Fusion.
AEW,
They're on MLW does Fusion. They do Fusion.
Yeah, they're
TV.
on like Vice or something in Canada, I think.
And MLW's on Sports.
Again,
BN Sports, I think. It's like a BN Sports Network.
I mean, I know channels like TBS and TNT. And
you have to really
like
go
that.
out of
you have to search for it. You have to go out of your way to find it.
You have to go out of your way to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe like look at it this way: Impact Wrestling, God bless them, great talent, great people. They struggle with they don't struggle, meaning they have challenges in building and growing their audience. But they've had like last week they were up 20% in their numbers. But it's almost like I feel like you can't claim you're on television unless you have over, let's say over 100,000 viewers or over 100, something like that just makes it, because after a while there's TV and there's not TV. Do you know what I mean? And the guys in WWE and AEW were on TV, and you could argue that even as great as Ring of Honor was and whatever, that Sinclair broadcasting, it didn't bring new eyes to them. It didn't get new butts in the seats. And regardless of what was airing on it, it wasn't like must-see TV. You know what I mean? Which is unfortunate. Lucha Underground struggled with the same thing.
And I know plenty of people that are just avid, huge wrestling fans in my area, and they don't even know when Ring of Honor would be on TV because Sinclair doesn't broadcast, doesn't push it. You know what I mean? You just have to be just flipping around and watching the news, and it come on afterwards, or you wouldn't even know.
Just randomly.
Yeah.
They put most, if not all of it, up on YouTube, like for free.
Yeah.
And fight
anyway,
which is good.
Which is good. It gets out there, but like less reason even to tune in live if you know that there's like a free VOD coming in a day or two. Yeah,
and more accessible too. To be like, what channel is that? You know, then you have to look for it and find the time. So you're like, actually, I'll just wait till Tuesday. It'll be on the YouTube. You know what I mean? That's another thing that happens with that. Like you said, like because I think I watch more stuff on that than I do on TV. I think I watch the MLW stuff on YouTube usually if I watch it at all, instead of waiting for it to find it on a.
I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube and then like pay-per-views on Fight. That's basically it. And then like TV, like Wednesday, Friday, basically.
That YouTube argument, people be like, it's not, I mean, YouTube, whatever, it's just on YouTube. I'm like, shit, man, some of those YouTube videos for shows get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views. And like, that's better than like that TV
what's
deal
on TV.
that Impact gets, you know what I mean? Or
that's the same people who also thought that streaming music was never going to be like this CD was always going to be here and vinyl before that. And Netflix was never going to kill Blockbuster.
That's the Larry David Super Bowl commercial. Basically, right there. I love that.
a great example, I think, is AEW. Like AEW has two amazing television platforms that are within, say, the first 40 channels on the television guide, and they use that as a springboard and a way to point people to these online series. You know what I mean? Like to me, they're doing it. They're doing that part right. You know what I mean? It's definitely a challenge, and I think companies like Ring of Honor and MLW. Well, Ring of Honor in the past and MLW perhaps currently have that issue of you can write 10 press releases a day, but if it doesn't make, you know what I'm saying? If it doesn't somehow convert tens of thousands of people to watching, it's tough. You know what I mean? I've tried to consume the product a few times, like when they super hyped it up. I'd be like, let me see what this is all about. Let me watch this objectively. And I would watch it and just think, okay, it looks good, it sounds good, and some of the talent is good, but it doesn't like resonate in a way. It just feels like I don't know how to explain it.
It doesn't stand out. The product doesn't stand out. It doesn't have anything that makes it different. It doesn't make it different than anything else you can see, other than like the production value is probably higher than your
Sure.
average wrestling event. But most of those people you can get on any show. You know, I mean, like you could probably book the same show they did, you know, anywhere else in America, you know, probably for, you know, yeah, like if you have enough money, you know, that's so. But that is, it would look the same too. You know what I mean? For sure. But yeah, that's why you guys stand out. Like that's the thing that I think GCW does better than everybody else right now.
What you guys were saying earlier about the DIY aspect and the connection to it, GCW is organic and authentic, and it's not that we portray a DIY or a rebellious attitude. Like we just do our thing, and our thing is infused with that. I think MLW has spent so many years orchestrating an image that they're like just like WWE or just a hair below WWE. And I understand you always want to set big goals and you want to grow in, you know, create a brand footprint and step into it. But all those years of trying to pretend to be this massive wrestling conglomerate, but how do people connect with that? Like, oh, I want to support the really big wrestling corporation. Do you know what I mean? And if you want to do that, you could support Impact or Ring of Honor or WWE or AEW. Like, there's nothing unique about being diet WWE or value brand 205 Live or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and they've started to do something similar to kind of like that Lucha Underground feel with that Azteca show. So maybe that'll do something, like you said,
sure. I'm the biggest
a little bit better.
I'm the biggest Lucha Underground fan ever. I got to attend a ton of those tapings live, and the magic in that room. I've never seen MLW live, but I can't imagine that they're getting the responses from the crowd that Lucha Underground did. And it's great to try to combine the world of Lucha Underground into MLW, but Lucha Underground was a long fucking time ago. You know what I mean?
It's like it's been over 10 years now.
Oh my God. No.
Right? Hasn't it? Wasn't it like 2010, 11, 12? When was this?
I lose track of time.
I stopped watching wrestling for about an 11-year gap. And within that entire 11-year gap, Lucha Underground started and ended.
Wow.
Let's see. Lucha
I missed it entirely. Like I have to try to go back.
2014. So 2014 it started.
2017 or something.
Yeah, 2014, and I think it. Yeah, like 17, 18.
If they would have picked up the what's his name again? I'm sorry, the Caesar or Roman.
Oh, Dario
Cueto.
Cueto, yeah.
If they would have picked him up like right after Lucha Underground went off the air, and you kind of kept that spirit and brought those viewers over, it's one thing. But 4 or 5 years later, it just seems weird. You know what I mean? To build everything around who's the non-wrestling actor that's the commissioner. You know what I mean? And then while doing that, you bring in guest commissioners to your shows. So it's like, what?
They kind of did that before, though, too, with Selena De La Renta as well, though, with her
that to me seemed to work, though. I thought that was kind of cool because it's your own person. It's your own thing. You're building a character and a brand, but then I guess she's not there anymore.
No, I don't think so. I think she's not. Alicia's still there. But they actually wanted me. I was supposed to go down there last weekend to Charlotte, and there was just no way I could do it.
I thought Serena did great, and I thought that was actually interesting. It's unique. It's new. It's female empowerment. It's Latina empowerment. They want to appeal to a Latino audience. Like that, to me, home run. Yeah. Dario Cueto flying them in from LA or whatever and paying them actors pay to do wrestling vignettes. I don't know. I don't know what the return on the dollar is, but if I was, you know what I'm saying, if I put it on paper, I would probably be able to figure out pretty easily it's not worth it.
I remember popping one time because I saw him pop up on Always Sunny. It was Always Sunny. I think he was a doctor in Always Sunny or something. He was like Frank's doctor or something on the episode where you're like looking just through Frank Reynolds' eyes. Oh, wow. And like Frank was going, he ends up in a doctor, and all of a sudden Dario comes in as his doctor, and like Frank's just like, yeah, whatever, doc. Right. He just doesn't listen to him, and he just blows him off and does his own thing. But I was like, that's the guy from Lucha Underground. And everybody was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
All right. I forget what show it was. I was watching wrestling one night, and he popped up on just a standard commercial. It
was a commercial. I can't know which commercial it is too.
Soda. I remember I took a picture of him and tweeted it. But it was almost close to the time, like maybe Lucha Underground was even still airing or had just finished up. You know what I mean? And he's a great speaker. He's a great everything. Like he used to captivate the crowd tremendously at Lucha Underground.
Yeah, the what could have been, right?
Oh my God. I really thought Lucha Underground was going to change everything. I really did. The energy, the vibe. Think of the characters and the wrestlers they introduced to the mainstream. And I thought it was going to be a touring entity. I thought it would be a Netflix series. I thought all that Hollywood investment and backing. Because think about that. Imagine if Lucha Underground was a featured series on Netflix in season 1 or season 2, and you have millions of people who can just suddenly get plugged into wrestling for the first time and be like, oh, wow, this is wrestling I could dig.
I honestly don't understand how Netflix doesn't have a wrestling series that they're running like weekly. I don't get it. Because their whole like business model is like, we just want content. Like consistent, regular content, and like what's more consistent, regular than like wrestling? You know what I mean? Like we need something every week.
Right. Well, think about the television industry. There'd be no television industry without wrestling, because wrestling was the foundation of the television industry. And in the same way, you would think, I agree with you 1,000,000%.
Look at their roster too, and like the platform that it basically gave everyone from that roster. Look at where they all are now. Like every single one of them was on TV pretty much, or in very prominent indie spots.
That show made Jeff Cobb too. Like Jeff Cobb was a Bay Area wrestler here in my area that, you know, was outstanding, you know, doing his Olympic style shoot gimmick. But then you put him in that Matanza suit, and then suddenly he was on Gorilla and got to work everywhere in, you know, New Japan, and now he's the worldwide star that he is. And that's just two of them. You know, Thunder Rosa was a part of that. Right.
Luchasaurus.
Oh man, Luchasaurus, Pentagon, just so many,
Phoenix.
so many, and on and on and
so
on.
Many.
We're barely scratching this. Probably like
barely
50 people we could name.
You have a harder time. It'd be easier to name people that probably didn't end up in like on TV and in better spots than it would be to name everybody that's not now on your TV every week from that.
Indeed. And just because we're being honest and direct, like I feel like Lucha Underground season 1 and season 2 were pretty outstanding. Season 3 with the sci-fi thing, it became less must-see TV. Like I stopped scheduling my Wednesday or whatever it was around that airing because it just became too weird.
It's still, you gotta base the wrestling in reality still, like to it.
Yeah, just enough. You know, delve into the insane, but you got to base it in reality.
Yeah, I think they let the TV networks get a little too much input on that to be like, we gotta go out there. We gotta go out there. Something totally different that nobody's doing. And then they're like,
and hey, if Netflix said if you inject 30% sci-fi into this, we'll give you a series, then I would do it. But just to stay where you are and to tread water, I would have left it the way it was. But who knows? Yeah, who knows what factors.
There was a lot of bad shit going on, if I remember correctly, as far as like the way the business was set up and contracts, and just like it was a bunch of bad shit. There's a bunch of mistakes were made that I think people moved on from, it sounds like, and hopefully learned from on that. But we got off topic. But
yeah, we went deep at wrestling industry and
that's
analysis.
But we're gonna probably do so in the next match, because we talked about, which is Blake Christian beating Nick Wayne, and both of those guys, like what a run both of those two guys have had the last year, especially Nick Wayne. Man, did you get to see his match with Swerve at Defy yet? Have you watched it?
No,
they gave it away for free. It's online right now for free. It's man. That kid is something else, dude.
Every time I see Nick Wayne, I'm like literally every time I'm completely blown away. And of course, Swerve on a whole nother level. And I'm so happy that he's going to get to. Again, I thought when Swerve got to where he arrived to, and then he got to shine a little bit, and then they put him together with AJ Francis and everybody, I was like, yo, I can't believe it. Like these guys are all made. They're made guys. I thought Keith Lee was made when I saw him in there. I mean, I've seen a lot of people get made and then unmade and then released. But I love seeing those people get right back on their feet and get right.
Oh no!
It happens. He'll be back in a second. He did this the last time we did our interview. Give him a second. Something's probably going on. Probably got a phone. He probably got a call or something.
Get that super sweet Wi-Fi.
Did you get a call?
No, I'm not sure why that's happening. I'm right by my router. Unless my Wi-Fi is off. Can I check if my Wi-Fi is off?
Yeah, you got time to check. We're just chilling, man.
Hold on.
We're very laid back here. But Yeah, dude, that Nick Wayne match. Did you watch it? I'm sure you did already.
I haven't seen the Defy
Swerve?
one yet. I
Bro, go out of your way to watch it.
I just noticed it got uploaded. It was like 3:00, and I was like, I don't have time for this.
I was gonna watch it this morning.
3:15 GCW show. Okay.
I got sent it the other night before it got put up for free. Somebody had it for me, and I was like, "Oh, this is
sorry
awesome."
about that.
Oh no, that's all right, man. We were just talking about that Nick Wayne Swerve match, and
I'm not getting audio.
Oh, we got you. Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Hello.
Well, we can hear you.
That's weird as fuck. Hello.
Oh, we got you. Can you get us?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
No audio for me. Fuck.
Oh, we hear you.
Hold on. Let's do this. Let's just back you out and let me do this.
How can that be? It still says my mic is on. I can't hear you guys at all.
Oh no.
1, 2. Hey.
Let's see. Maybe just leave and come back.
I got nothing.
Let's see. Leave and come back, maybe?
Let me exit out and come back. Hold on.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. There we go. Anyway, I'll bounce to another banner until another. We'll fix this. Hey, man, we run a sharp, tight ship around here, but it's okay.
Yeah.
No, you need to go check that match out. There he is. He's come back. So
that I will. I'm gonna get that in while I eat dinner later.
Can we hear you now, KG?
Perfect.
See, that's all it was.
That's so weird.
Troubleshooting. We got it. But
logic is key. I just gotta, be like, all right. The only thing I did was look at my settings, and now there's no sound. So let me just re-enter.
Yeah, man. So go out of your way if you can to watch that Swerve and Nick Wayne match. But dude, that kid, Nick Wayne, is something else, man. I saw him for the first time with you guys, and every time out, he just improves, and he gets taller too. By the way, like shit, dude, I forget that kid's like 17 now, so he's just now going through his growth spurt.
Taller, nicer, more humble, and more talented with each showing. Every
time I see him, he's just so excited, so happy. He's just, hey, what's up, man? All excited, comes running up. I just love his enthusiasm. And he's just living that dream, man, right? Being 17, living the life. Could you imagine? Has he even turned 17? I think he just did. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah, if not, he's 16, which is even crazier. Because I know Billy just turned 17. You guys, you finding these kids that are just, it's insane, man.
And to think, you know what it's like, the repetition and the road and the stuff you could learn from these more seasoned people. Think of the education that a Billy Starks, that a Nick Wayne, that a Jordan Oliver, all these young up and comers are getting. And then you have them there intermingling with people like Blake Christian and Alex Zane, who are both breakout performers in their own right, who then got to go take like a paid training break, a paid polish break, and just get the best minds in wrestling. Norman Smiley and Robbie Brookside and
Scott Taylor.
All these people helping to.
Oh no. Locked up again. I think he is 16, actually, though. Nick Wayne, I think, is 16. I went and looked it up. Yeah. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I should have made better decisions as a high school student.
Nick Wayne's 16, man, and that just makes you it just blows my mind to be like, what am I doing?
For them, for them too, to have the discipline though, to because they're still completing school. Like they're Monday to Friday students in school, and then just going out and killing
Road Warriors on the weekend, man.
It's crazy. Just killing it on the weekends.
And let's not forget Starboy Charlie as well is one of those people. And he's one that all of them, everyone we're talking about does the same thing, but I would always notice, like I'd go in the locker room to do something and everyone's doing their thing. And Starboy Charlie is there doing his homework. You know what I mean? He's there reading a school book. And that literally blows my fucking mind. And then when he's back at school on Monday, does anyone believe, not that they believe, but you're just sitting there in your classroom and other kids are like, oh, I played GTA this weekend. And he's like, oh, I went to Atlantic City and wrestled. Like, wait, what? Then
four times. I wrestled 4 matches in 2 days or whatever.
Massive Samoan guy pulled me off of a stage and moonsaulted onto me.
Right. My mother slapped two great island people, 300+ pound men to save my honor.
Yeah. It's insane. I remember talking to Billy one time. I think it was in Minnesota, and she was like getting ready to get in the car and drive back home all night, and was like, "I got to write this paper." And it was like, had to write a paper on Sunday night on the car ride home for school on Monday morning, and was just like, "Oh my God, kid, you inspire me." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
16 years, 17 years old, like God.
To have that conviction at that young age, because I know in some cases, like in Billy Starks. You know what I mean? If you're a 16 or 17-year-old girl in high school, and high school is so cliquey, and I can't even imagine what it's like now in the social media era of high school and the multiplied by toxicity. But then you have someone like her. She's different from every other girl in her school because she's pursuing her dreams and her passion like no one else in her class. She's traveling like no one else in her class. She's having these experiences. But then how does that affect how her classmates see her? Because for every classmate that's probably like, whoa, like you're a star, you're awesome. There's going to be 100 people that are jealous and or hate on you and try to spin what you're doing into something negative, which, and to be able to still stay on course, to not let, it might bother you, but you don't let it visibly affect you and you keep fucking going.
Or find a way to use that to motivate you to do better and be better at what you're going to do and just prove everybody, a big fuck you to everybody, she's amazing. Dude.
And meanwhile, when you're Billy Starks and you're doing your thing, each time you do your thing, you're moving closer and closer to your ultimate lifelong dreams. The people that talk about you, every time they talk about you, it doesn't move them towards anything except the opposite. It moves them away from their own success. It moves them away from connecting with other people. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy being a negative piece of shit.
It is, man. And dude, and I love that, like, these kids, they're kids. They have such good heads on their shoulders too, that you guys have working for you. Like that, like talking to Billy and talking to fucking Starboy with the one time I did, and Nick. Every time I see Nick, I'm like, God, man, you're getting it. You're 17, 16 years old, and you have a very good grasp on like what you need to be doing, how things are working around you, and it's just good to see, man.
And we look out for them. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I was gonna say. They got good people looking out for them all around too. That just are gonna help them, protect them, give them good advice.
Billy's always traveling with her mom or dad or both. Starboy's parents are very often with them, or almost every time they're with them. Nick Wayne mostly solo, but then we'll go out of our way. Like we'll put the kids together, so to speak, so they're all in their own age group. Yeah. But then we have people like literally with them. You know what I mean? Especially when we go to like a New York City or whatever. I'll be like, look, guys, I know it seems like totally reasonable to just go down the street and do whatever. Don't do it. Like anything you want, I'll come bring you. I'll come do whatever, because you don't want anything weird to happen on your watch. And I respect where they're at and what they're doing. So, I mean, I would go out of my way, obviously, to look out for them, to protect them, and to shield them from any bullshit of the world. You know what I mean?
And it's not just you. I think everybody has that mentality mindset, because like, you see Jack Cartwheel hanging out. I mean, Shepard, like the same thing. He's so great too, and just out there, like, with everybody. He was with Nick, I think, in New York when I saw him too.
Yeah. That's like the young boy clique. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I love it, dude. And Jack's another one. He's a little bit older, like he's still in college, but same thing, man. Young as hell, and just got a good head on his shoulders.
Jack Cartwheel, like I noticed it the other day in the LA shows. When he's just coming to the ring, when he's in the ring, he looks so happy. He looks like he's in this joyous, like ecstasy, not the drug, but ecstasy, the feeling state. And it's so infectious to me. Like, and yeah, it's just, he's just incredible. He's an incredible performer, an incredible person. And I just love that it's happening for him. Do you know what I mean? And the same thing, he gets to come to GCW, and then suddenly he's doing triple A and going everywhere and doing everything. And he's just the man, and unlimited upside for all of those people.
He does have the happy look all the time.
All the time.
Even in
LA, I have
a
super high speed connection.
Even in LA, when SGC and friends are just beating on him and tossing him all over the place.
Just big smile always, man.
Big smile the whole time.
I mean, dude, how much fun would it be to be
so
that age and just out there just living it?
He's so
the
fun
dream.
To watch.
It's the dream, man. Like, God, I love it for these kids, man. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, like Blake Christian too, man. Like,
oh my God,
like you were talking about earlier,
he had a great weekend,
get polished, and then come back. But yeah, he had that win over Nick Wayne, and then another good show the next night.
Yeah, I thought Blake was incredible prior to his break, but now there's just this extra, whether it's an extra coat of paint, extra polish, there's an extra intensity, there's an extra. His speed has always been impressive, but he's been able to turn it up somehow. Like, I don't know I can't put my finger on what it is, but he has a confidence and an ability that is truly way above the pack. You know what I mean? Like, he's truly standout.
Like, I don't want to jump ahead by a night, but him and Mike Bailey.
Oh my God.
They burnt that place to the ground on Saturday.
Yeah, man, they delivered a main event, truly.
That, like, Holy shit!
He's just so everything he does is just so sharp and polished since coming back from that little hiatus in Orlando. And it's just like it's amazing. Like he was, like you said, he was so good before, but now that he's come back, everything is just it's incredible, man.
It's incredible. It's like I said, I can't even put my finger on it, but it's a confidence. He added a little bit of size. He added a smidgen of confidence. And just like an extra step in his quickness and his technical, I don't know. He's incredible.
It's a lot of the stuff in between too. It's like what he does in between a move and like the next one. It's like the facials, the body mannerisms, just all that stuff that he picked up. It just what it does is how it ties it all together and just really polishes him up, man.
And Blake carries himself like a star, like in all his dealings, like his posture, the way he walks, the way he talks. When he speaks, like he's not a guy that's just like, yes, anyway, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? He's like, when he speaks, you're like, you listen, you know what I mean? Because he's not always just fucking flapping off at the mouth.
I've probably only heard him talk or say like 3 or 4 sentences every time I've been around you guys. It's like when he talks, I'm like, oh shit, he's speaking. Like you said, it's like, what's he saying? Because he doesn't usually, like you said, he's not just running his mouth, flapping around. He's very deliberate with what he's going to talk about and say.
Absolutely.
And, man, like he had his dark debut this week.
I saw that. How amazing is that?
Was he wrestling Rohit or Hakeem Zayn, Rohit Raju too?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those guys too. Both of them. I know they've been doing their thing independently and with Impact and everything, but the first time I got to see them was at that GCW Fight Forever 24-hour charity marathon, and I was absolutely blown away. Like from the moment they came through the curtain. And ever since that day, I've just been a huge proponent of both those guys. They have everything.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man.
That's an interesting match for them to have there, too, because they're not neither of them are like signed talent there as far as I know.
Right.
So I know, like, that's just a showcase match of 2 really good dudes who happen to be available wrestlers.
Spoiler alert, who won the match?
I think Blake did.
Don't know.
That's very telling.
I don't know, actually.
Hold on, I looked at it earlier.
I didn't actually look at the result, so.
Well, I'm gonna check that real quick. You guys jaw for a second.
Because I mean that'll I think give you a hint of if they see some, because they've had the other guys spotlighted a little bit on those under shows, if you will, the dark and elevation.
Raju's been there a couple times already. That was Blake Christian's first time there.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up from this weekend. Let's see. That was the tapings on the.
That was like the third. That was like the special Thursday one they did in Orlando, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here. Where is it?
Man,
they've got them broken down by. Okay, there it is.
I've watched that
2 weeks ago.
I've watched that Blake and Mike Bailey match 4 times.
Really?
Saturday. Yeah. Oh, like that literally to me was like that just one of the best matches I think I've in 2022 so far.
Wow. Easily. Did you happen to see, like, there was a lot of people made a lot of media and clips out of the match and some of the spots. Did you see where someone cut out Mike Bailey and Blake Christian when they were up on the that's Ninja
with
Mac.
Ninja Mac.
My bad.
Yeah, no, but I didn't see that. The Mortal Kombat
where they cut them out and put them on the Mortal Kombat background.
Yeah. That was so good.
That was
Blake
incredible.
He did go over Rohit.
Wow.
In the tapings. So.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I thought so. I wanted to double check so that I wasn't like totally misquoting that but I was pretty sure.
I want to know when he got booked. I want to know when he got booked for that taping. Did it happen before or after Saturday?
Yeah, great question.
Good question. Because I do know for a fact that like one of the things, like, anybody that's always like, how do you get booked at AEW? How do you get booked at AEW? Chris Daniels has always said, just do something to get noticed online because Tony will see that shit and he'll bring you in. So like that could have been easily that spot on the fucking walkway up on top where they fell could have easily been the thing that like, or that match or something.
That wasn't even Blake in that.
That wasn't even them, but something that show
or
whatever Blake did or whatever, something on that show.
Yeah, and I think there's something to what you say, of course, because look at Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy and so many more, Nick Wayne, all these people who made so many moments on GCW, big moments, and got their buzz, and suddenly that buzz translates into Alley Catch and more, even Ricky Shane Page. It either translates into opportunities with Dark and Elevation or whatever, or Joey Janela, etc., or it turns into an actual contract. And either way, that's the ultimate. You know what I mean? I used to run an underground record label back in the day in New York, and it was the same thing. Like exactly the same thing as GCW in terms of the sense of community, and people believe in the brand because they are the brand. And some of the bands are a core part of the label. Some of the bands get signed to a big label off the first, but that's kind of the nature. That's the nature of the game when you're making and breaking stars at the bleeding edge of anything, whether it's underground, middle ground, way above ground. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And dude, there's so many people that you guys have that are like can fit into that. Just you're gonna get plucked out. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. You are the ECW modern day of where it's like how many people from your company are just gonna end up with a contract. You know?
Right.
It's just I can't believe.
And when you think back to like the Monday Night Wars don't exist without ECW. ECW was lit the fuse. ECW was the gas on the fire. Because what are the Monday Night Wars without Steve fucking Austin, Mick Foley, Eddie Guerrero, and those are just a few of the people.
Yeah, I was about to say
what they did with cruiserweight division.
Cruiserweight division came from
that
came from Juventud, and
that was the thing that first that was what pulled my eyes to WCW when I was a kid. I was like, oh my god, these guys are just jumping off of everything and doing all these crazy flips, and like holy shit, I've never seen anything like this. I'm like 9 years old, you know.
And it made WCW's program so captivating because you will see that, but then maybe you'd see a hardcore match after that. Then you'd see something else. That it's that variety show aspect that sometimes get lost. Wrestling is a variety show. There should be everyone shouldn't look the same, act the same, wrestle the same. That to me, that does not make compelling wrestling.
And that goes back to what we're talking about with MLW, like what makes them different. You know what I mean? You look just like everything else. Like when WCW realized, like, okay, we need to be different. They started bringing all those luchadors and those cruiserweights, and then like they have this cruiserweight division that nobody else had.
Correct, and it was totally unique. And they used to. And though what WCW was so smart to do, not just doing that, but I'm old enough to remember when Nitro launched. Part of the average I think it was 4 images they used, and they were on bus advertisements and billboards and whatever. And it was I don't even remember who the other 3 were. I only remember the Rey Mysterio one. And being on the train or being in the city and seeing this massive image of Ray doing a Huracan Rana, and just seeing that they didn't leave it under, or if you watch our show you find it. They made it part of their branding. They weren't ashamed of it. They owned it and they leveraged it, and that was genius, brilliant in its simplicity. Because that doesn't always get done now. People might sign someone or utilize them, but they always want to hold, like, not hit the accelerator. Like, oh, let's not hit the gas. Let's slow it down. Let's have them lose a bunch of times to see how they are. Like, feel all that shit out before they come on television.
Yeah, you should know that. You should know what you got before you buy it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That always blows my mind with these companies. It's like, how do you sign this guy and not know what you have already?
Yo, how do you just sign somebody who's not a wrestler in the first place and then just be like, we'll just make you a wrestler?
Anyone can wrestle.
You can't train passion for something into someone.
It ain't bagging groceries. You know what I mean? Anyone can hand out flyers. Not anyone can wrestle by a fucking long shot, no matter how great of an athlete you are.
Yeah, like I could take a suplex, and that would be the last one like I ever took.
But they have done a good job, though, of finding some really good diamonds in the rough in that process, though, being like, let's just, some non-wrestling background people, and then they've hit some home runs. I mean, shit, man, Charlotte Flair is the perfect example.
Of course, but there's other factors with her, too. You know what I mean?
Yes, there's a lot, but I mean,
she was a great athlete, but then also a second-generation star.
But she had no desire to wrestle until the Reed situation. And then when that happened with Reed, she was like, well, I'm going to wrestle now because he can't.
But imagine what would have happened if Charlotte just lost all the time.
Right.
And had some stupid gimmick that made no sense. Where would she be now? And by association, where would they be? Because she's the ultimate of their brand on the women's side. But it's funny that they can't see it. That look at how they treated Charlotte and look at where Charlotte is and the response she gets and her status. And then look at the people that never get to win or creative can't figure out anything to do for them. And then you're like, oh, that's weird. Like the people we don't do anything for have way less traction than the people we protect. It's almost like wins do matter in a sport of our nature.
And there's, I mean, AEW does a good job of like doing the opposite of what we're talking about. How WWE does is like ruin people that come in and like even if they don't have something for them like right away, they could do a good job of protecting them and still like keeping things rolling for when they
look at Hook. Look at Hook as a non-wrestler, just like Charlotte, a non-wrestler, second generation. Their presentation of Hook, outstanding. And the fact I'm going to go see Hook wrestle tomorrow in a movie theater for the AEW pay-per-view.
For us, actually. Yeah, for Body Slam.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's my first time ever seeing wrestling in a movie theater. I am so excited. But the idea that what's that?
Yeah, you're media now with us.
Yeah, I am media. The idea that what they say it's Hook's 5th match in AEW or something like that, 5th or 6th?
Like 5th or 6th match. Yeah,
he's gonna murder QT Marshall.
Oh God, yeah. As soon as I saw who he was working, I'm like, perfect. That's perfect.
His trainer, his trainer, and his trainer's gonna make him look.
Hello, wrestling.
I do want to see him actually take a couple bumps, though.
Like, he will.
Eventually, when he fights the champion.
Another thing, too. People got all mad about Hook no selling that move. That's what Taz did, man. That was a nod to Taz. Like, you would see Taz do that. Like, he would take somebody's big spot and just pop right back up. Like, fuck that.
As soon as someone says people get mad, I don't listen to the rest of the sentence. You know what I mean? Because the same people that are mad about Hook no selling a move are the same people who pop when someone else no sells a move. It's part of wrestling. The tail doesn't wag the dog. You know what I mean? Are you going to write Martin Scorsese a letter and tell him this character should have done that? No. Like at a certain point, yes, wrestling is the most interactive experience that there is. Your voice is heard. Everyone's part of the process within reason. You know what I mean? But it's not it's not like going to Subway. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, I want 2 slices of turkey, but 4 is too many. Oh, I don't like olives. You know what I mean? No one cares.
Some of the most hype moments in matches have come off of the back of someone no-selling a big move.
Of course! Like, it's the ultimate.
Like,
hello, it goes back to the Road Warriors. To Hawk made it famous, but someone was doing it before him.
Yeah. It's good when it's okay when done appropriately for a reason. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing when a guy's just out there going into business for his own, just no selling and being a
right. That's
asshole.
Different. If you do the Austin Aries, Johnny Morrison spot, no good.
Right? Yeah, that's totally different. But to use it like for a reason, it's done well, and they've done everything right with Hook. I agree with you.
It's brilliant. And the point I was making about it only being his 5th or 6th, televised match or whatever, is that even once he debuted, he didn't just become a thing that every week he's on TV wrestling someone. Like, it's such a slow burn, and the fuse is just burning, and we don't know how long that fuse is. And he's just moving up, and it's really wonderful to see because without AEW doing stuff like this, there truly is no one to compare WWE to in that way. Like, you can't say, like, oh, well, WWE didn't push this person right, but this other, like, barely watched product really does it right. Do you know what I mean? Like AEW is comparable in terms of audience size and everything. So when you see it working right before your eyes logically, and then you see it on the other side not working and it's illogical, it just gives you a great counterpoint to know like this works, this doesn't, and these people are more in tune with what I want. And when I say I, in this case, the audience, like the audience clearly is more interested, in my opinion, more engaged, they have much more of a response at an AEW show from the crowd than at a WWE show, which is unfortunate.
I feel like
unfortunate for WWE. It's good for AEW.
I feel like their audience does skew a little bit more into the like educated fan,
like ECW did.
Like,
and he knows that. He knows his fan base. He knows his audience is the internet fan base because that's where he came from. You know, what I mean, it's a guy that lived in message boards and forums running a company. He knows what his fucking audience is because he was his audience, and that's like he's in touch with that. So
I think it's wonderful. The whole AEW thing is just terrific. The talent there is terrific, and what they're building. So many people lose sight of things. Like I saw a lot of I guess what you will call neck beards going on and on about how stupid Tony Khan is to invest money in a video game. Well, as someone who worked in the video game industry for a lot of years, Tony Khan is not stupid at all to invest that kind of money in a video game. And the reason why is Tony Khan and AEW could have gotten someone else to fund their video game without question. However, when you do that, then you're getting a royalty. Do you know what I mean? You're getting a percentage of sales. If you fund the fucking game yourself, which no wrestling company has ever done,
Never.
If WWE or WCW owned No Mercy or WrestleMania Revenge or WCW versus the World, all those old Nintendo cartridge-based games, if they owned any of those games outright, they would have made more money than they ever could have imagined. You know what I mean?
Residuals, they'd still be making money. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this, right? Like straight up, the what do you call it? In the video game industry, the way it works is when you manufacture the game, it has to be manufactured through Sony or Xbox. They charge you their royalty at manufacturing. So when you manufacture a game, you're not just paying the $1.25 for the jewel case and the disc and the little insert. You're paying a $10 or $15 royalty direct to Sony or Microsoft at manufacturing. So now each unit cost you, $11 or $16 instead. But the upside is the money between 11 or 15 and 39 or 49 that you wholesale it for, dude, you know what I mean? And if you look at the sales of wrestling video games, oh my god!
Today's day and age, when that game releases, it's like $69.99 at least.
Right,
and they've got video game people working on it too. They got people that love video games making a video game that they want to be proud of, not just something they just want to make money off of too. They don't want a game that's going to be no knock to the TNA game, but I was really excited for that game when it came out, and then it was
it's tough. It's not easy to make a video game, man. It's very expensive. But
same with the ECW game. Remember that?
Oh man, I sure do.
Fuck.
I sure.
That was another one.
Well.
That was another one I was really excited for, and it just was fucking terrible. So
the thing is, look at it this way: if AEW can clear $39 to $49 a unit of their video game, times there, I guarantee you. Quote me. Isolate this clip. I guarantee you, AEW will sell over 1 million copies of this video game without a doubt. 1 million times 39 is $39 million. You know what I mean? And it's rumored. Some people say he's invested 20, he's invested 40. Either way, and it's not a one and done. It's you're building a franchise. And even if the first one just breaks even or only profits $5 or $10 million, you know what I mean? You've now built the foundation where the next one is all gravy because you're able to innovate on what you've built. You're not building a house from scratch. You're renovating a house now. You know what I mean? For version 2.
And what he did buying ROH, now you just added that into your game. You can put ROH in your game.
I didn't even mention that. Sorry. So when I broke down that $39 million that Tony would make off selling 1 million video games, I did not count in the part of video games that now makes more money than the video games itself. The paid downloadable content has totally revolutionized this industry. So when you add that Ring of Honor Pack 1 for $15, when you add whatever Pack 2 and all the CM Punk Ring of Honor variants,
or you can buy the $120 mega version when it comes out. Get all the content together.
Get it all built in.
Well, and that's that. I wanted to mention it earlier, and then I didn't want to put it out there because nobody's actually done it yet, really. So I'm like, oh no, let's not have this start happening with the wrestling games. But the idea that you just, your consoles change every 5 or 7 years, on average. So rather than make a new game every year, you just, have your one generational release for the lifetime of the console. And then you just DLC,
updates.
New signings, you suddenly acquire a company. So now, all these properties are just DLC now. It's like I'm shocked it hasn't been done yet. And
I'm not under any kind of NDA, so I can say this. I know for a fact that 2K Games made more money off selling downloadable content than they did off selling the fucking discs. Wrestling games themselves. Yeah. Whether it's downloadable, physical discs, whatever. Yeah. That is staggering. That's crazy. That is a game changer. No pun intended. That is a paradigm shift for the entire video game industry. And it's how games like Grand Theft Auto can just be being developed for years and years and years and years and years. Dude, because they're able to still sell content.
The same Grand Theft Auto that came out when my Xbox came out, is people are still fucking buying and playing that game a lot and buying a lot of new stuff. They just keep putting out new missions. It's the same thing, just new.
And so you buy these missions. You know what I mean? You buy these modes, and it's literally changed everything. And I think with Tony and AEW's understanding and some of the people they have in place, I think they're gonna crush it beyond what most people can understand, because most people actually don't understand the wrestling or the video game industry, despite being consumers of the product. Because being a consumer of the product is not the same as actually understanding the business of the product.
And I don't think he's done buying libraries either. So I think you're going to get other stuff too. Because I was told there was Zarian was talking about it, that there's an international
right?
promotion, and that's still being. I was hearing the same thing. Nobody knows what it is, what it was talking about. I think WWE was under the impression it was going to be like All Japan. So, like, imagine if he buys the All Japan license and gets licensing rights to that, plus the library, like what you can do with your video games and all your other fucking
figures,
your figures, and your. I was going to say figures of
fucking
trading cards, cards and shit too, man.
And as the world opens back up, think of the conventions, so to speak, that you can run around your own events. Think of your own super shows in a way. If you ever got an opportunity to do All Japan versus AEW or whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fascinating to think about. Imagine Ring of Honor getting really proper figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know they're going to do it. You know, Jazzwares is like yes right now because they just debuted their new line today for the next 2-3 Unrivaled series lines and stuff. And there's a nice Nick and Cody new figure too. Did anybody see that?
No, as soon as I woke up, the first thing I saw was that amazing -1 figure with his dad.
It's
man,
beautiful, man, and him holding it. That was so.
Yeah, the shot of him holding it, and then the posed promotional shot of him sitting on his dad's shoulders. It's
so good, man.
Yeah,
first class.
I literally thought the best figure those guys ever did was that 2-pack, the Cody and Dustin bloody 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
I thought was the coolest thing I ever saw. But now the -1 and his dad Brody is the best thing I've ever seen in the figure game.
Did you see Casual Taz? Did you see Casual Taz?
No.
Oh, they got Casual Taz right now too. That one's out. He's just wearing he's wearing a hat. He's wearing like a black hat, black shirt, jacket. It's just Taz in his like casual like street gear. That was one of the ones that was out there too.
I want to see a Taz figure where it has almost like a slight bobblehead function, so it reminds you of Taz in his car. Listening to some music. What a talent that guy is. Good. I never thought that he would be back in the way that he is. And
he seems to be really happy.
His energy, his bravado, he's always protected his character. Well, in a way, I don't think he's protecting a character because his character is himself. Do you know? Yeah. I mean, he is protecting his character, but he's protecting himself. He's being himself, and he's just great.
And how cool is it to get to watch his son wrestle now too? And
he
gets to see this rise. And you can hear it in his voice too when he's calling it and he's talking about it. Just so proud and happy, and I just love seeing that for him too, man. I just like seeing that moment.
And if I could be so bold, compare the son of Taz to the son of Rey Mysterio. The son of Rey Mysterio has gotten incredible opportunities and got to wrestle all these matches, but it almost feels like not that it's over, but meaning like you already kind of rush through all these different machinations of it, and it's not like a big thing. You know what I mean? It's not the main event. It's not whatever. And it's like, if I could be Hook or Dominic Mysterio right now, no disrespect to any of them, I would want to be Hook because I'm like, the fuse is still lit, but it's like throwing a rocket into the air with a lit fuse. And Hook is still just rising on the throw. Like the fuse hasn't even met the fucking product yet and ignited.
Dude definitely knows how to party too.
Yeah.
No comment.
I've hung out with him.
I'll say I've met Hook. That's all I will say.
I have too. I met Hook as well. He's fun.
That's all I could say.
Yeah, he sat down and helped me out. He was like, "Hey, man." He's like, "Here." He just helped me out and helped me take care of what I needed. I was like, it's like you're like a fucking wizard, man. I was like, I love you.
I'm bad with faces sometimes, and especially it's weird sometimes someone you only see on TV. If you then just it just catches you weird or I don't recognize them. But I was standing talking to him for a minute, and then I was just like, oh shit. Like, it's Hook. You know what I mean?
Because he didn't introduce himself as Hook either. He said, hey, it's Tyler or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, Tyler?
And then I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're Hook.
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh, what's up, Tyler? And I was just talking to him. I was like, that's Hook. You know what I mean? Like, because he had his hat on so I couldn't see his like fucking hair this right away. So it's just like, oh, some white dude sat down next to me and it's fucking Hook. It's awesome.
He's going places, man, and God only knows what the future holds. And that's the thing that AEW has so many of those slings or arrows in their quiver, so to speak, that you have all these great guys on top. You have super legends in the mix like Punk and Jericho and stuff. And then you have this entire, the Daniel Garcias and all these other people, Hook, Wheeler Yuta. You know what I'm saying? You have all these
Mhm.
people on the rise that there may be, and many more that I'm not even mentioning,
Mhm.
but they're still simmering. Do you know what I mean? And when the time, but they're not losing, they're not being devalued or whatever. They're simmering, and the heat will keep getting turned up, and then it hits a boil, and you'll know when it happens. You know what I mean?
You know who else is doing this well though?
Who?
Game Changer Wrestling.
Oh, you don't say.
I do say.
KG, looks like
I
Chris
do say.
Hamrick. Chris Hamrick's happy to see you here, my man.
Hell yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Hamrick is fucking
Chris
awesome.
Hamrick is fucking awesome, and yeah, he says Taz's figure's life size.
Oh my god!
I'll have to
Fucking
dig it up.
SMS.
I have a
Chris Hamrick
picture.
ripping
They
it.
need
I
to
have a-
make.
Oh, sorry.
You
I was
need
gonna
to
say
make
I have. Oh, go ahead.
No, you.
I have a picture from back in the day. Me and my girl went to meet Taz at the height of his ECW run. So say it was 90. Well, not to us the height. Maybe it was not bad choice of words. 1997. Maybe he did an appearance in Bayside, Queens, and we're talking, and he was so nice because his character is so that I didn't expect him to be nice at all. And he was so gracious to us. And then we're like, oh, can we take a picture? And he's like, oh, you two, look how fucking tall you are. You're killing me. So I just have an awesome picture. Me and my girl, who are both super tall, and Taz, you know what I mean? Life-size Taz. God bless
awesome.
him. I'll have to see if I can dig that
man.
up.
I want his next action
dude.
figure to have just a voice in it where that just has him singing other people's entrance.
Yeah.
Dude, we were just talking about that when you went away.
Yeah.
It needs to have a bobblehead feature where his head just bobbles.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
forward, like it's the forward bobble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mick
No,
Jagger.
I want
Yeah.
a little. I want a little button on his back, and he'll just start singing Ruby Soho's
Oh
fucking
man,
theme song.
what? Yeah, things you never thought you would ever see.
Taz singing Rancid on TNT on a
It's
Wednesday
you
night.
get
What
good
the
stuff
fuck?
like that when people are just naturally having fun and are
Yeah.
enjoying what they're doing, and they're just not miserable going to work all the time. It's
Thank
not
you.
like a fucking chore, and they're not just like, oh fuck, let's just go deal with this for 8 hours. When they're looking forward to doing shit, they're themselves, and you get stuff like that. Just Taz posting a video of himself hanging out, driving to work, listening to music, like shit you wouldn't expect to see. I just love like that environment that they've created up there. It says a lot.
To me, a happy commentator is a great commentator, and you want your commentator to be excited, to be thrilled, and to be organic in their reactions. And production is great. You should produce everything you can, but you got to leave space for stuff to occur naturally. And I think that's something AEW does really well.
They do. This weekend's huge, man. I'm upset I'm not in Orlando, but at least I get to enjoy it from my couch.
Yeah, and I get to watch it in a movie theater.
Dude, that's going to be awesome. I looked around here. The closest one was about 35, 40 minutes away, and I was like, I'll just watch it on my couch instead.
I'm going to be sitting right here watching it without the giant ripped up Dante Leone shirt.
I love that.
Is that what your backdrop is?
It's just a tie-dye sheet. Like I had a plain white one and it looked fucking stupid. And I was like, it needs something because behind me my coffee table's got like bong and shit on it. And I'm just like, we don't need it. My wife might be sitting on the couch right now, like watching TikToks on her phone. I have no idea. So I'm just like, let's just hang the sheet up.
Yo,
dude, KG, make that happen, please. Please.
Wow, the Hamrick bump is insane.
I love watching it and seeing it. So I've seen it so many different stages of it too. Where it's like, oh shit, I didn't even see that clip before, but it's just another side of the ring.
Yeah, I've seen it in person in ECW, and obviously the clips of him with Sean Waltman and many others. I still don't even understand it. I mean, I understand it, but I don't understand it. I don't understand. I know a lot about wrestling, and I still don't understand how he does that bump. And he's able to be in the comments at the same time, and not just like, in a vegetative state.
Man, I've watched Hamrick rib Chase Owens back in the day when I would ride with Chase, and every time Chris would be there, it would be like, oh shit, and he would just give Chase a shit and steal his boot or something like that. Just be like, I literally got to go wrestle right now. Where's my boot? He's like, I don't know where your boot is. He's like, so mad.
I don't know, brother. And then when the dude turns around, then he holds up his boot to show everyone in the room he has it, then just puts it back. I don't know, brother.
Hamrick, I think Hamrick's the one that's the blame for my Cassidy takes chops for pro wrestlers, because there's that show in Cherokee where he was like, Chase, is this your greenhorn? And I was like, no, I'm not Chase's greenhorn. And everybody's like, Chase has got a greenhorn. Let's chop him in, brother. And it was just like,
oh my God,
the Barbarian and Ricky and Robert and fucking Buff and everybody just running a chop train on me.
Dude, the Barbarian Barb chopped you?
Yeah. Because fucking Hamrick was like, it's Chase's greenhorn. I was just his driver that fucking day. Like,
sure.
God. So yeah, oh, here we go. That's it. I love this. This is the best comment of the day.
Chase Owens.
Oh my god!
According to Chris Hamrick.
I love Hamrick so much, man. Oh
Jesus
man, we were,
Christ.
dude. It was so fun. I think White Mike and I were just talking about Hamrick the other day for some reason. I think we were watching something. He popped up. We were just putting Hamrick over how much we love that guy. So I love he's watching the show. That's great.
What a talent. Yeah. And this is the power of the internet, man. Like we can all be complaining about something, but instead we're talking about what we love, and we're having people we love tune in. What's more than that?
We had a plan for this show, and we've done none of it. And I love this so much better. I was like, well, we've talked about 2 GCW matches, and we had 3 shows to cover in an hour and 5 minutes. Yeah. So I'm not even going to worry about it. We'll touch on it, but this is much better.
As long as we talk about Atlanta coming up.
Oh yeah,
we're done. I want to talk about Kevin Blackwood too. You guys bringing him on. He's one of the Buffalo boys, right?
Oh yeah,
7 suplex Kevin.
God, that Tony Deppen match.
Oh man.
That match with Tony Deppen.
Kevin Blackwood was made himself, and he's been making himself ever since he moved from Buffalo to LA. Mm-hmm. He's got to work with Gorilla and get to work with New Japan. And usually it works the other way around. Usually people come and get a shot at GCW and then get to Gorilla in Japan. New Japan. He went the other way, but I can tell you that his first match in GCW was just that, his first match. There was not a return match scheduled. However, at the conclusion of that match, he was so fucking good. Like you have to, he made himself be booked. Like he was added to the next day's show on because of how great he did and how great Tony Deppen is.
It's you win that crowd over, man, and that's what he did. And it's like there's a bunch I love this too. Hamrick's loving GCW. That's what people do, man. You guys do a good job just connecting with everybody. And when when that audience finds a wrestler like they like, this is a guy, we want this guy, and they did that instantly with Blackwood.
And with Blackwood, it's hard for me to even put my finger on exactly. Like, how would you describe Blackwood? Like Nick Wayne, I can describe easier. Blackwood to me it's harder to quantify what exactly it is. He's got a great look. He's a great wrestler, but a lot of people have a great look and are a great wrestler. There's something actually, I guess he has it, you know what I mean? Because there's just something about him that is super compelling. And I mentioned this on commentary either during his first or second GCW match, and it's a true story. Like last year, Kevin Blackwood and I were hanging out at the Collective, and he wasn't even booked on any of the Collective shows. And he was just there to see some friends and watch the matches. And me and him were talking, and he still lived in Buffalo at that time. You know what I mean? And now we're 11 or 10 months later, and he's in LA, and he's in Gorilla and GCW, and I believe New Japan Strong, and has all the stuff going on, and the world is his oyster. You know what I mean? And he just stayed true. He didn't change who he was. He just changed where he was located, and suddenly it opened up, and he's the guy right now. I love all the Buffalo brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Puff, Kevin Blackwood, Danny Garcia, all of them, and that goes back to Pepper Parks and Andy Williams. Pepper Parks, who I should call. I always get the Butcher and the Blade confused.
He's the Blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Blade, aka Pepper Parks, and the Butcher,
and Andy's the Butcher.
Andy Williams. The Butcher makes sense for Andy.
Andy's looking good, dude.
Of him?
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, he's trimmed up. He's looking good, man. He's
the beard and the hair. I wrote on the comments, I wouldn't even recognize you if I saw you today like that. Look, he's amazing, dude.
You get more time to work on yourself when you're not touring the world anymore. Unfortunate that is that what it is.
I know.
But at the same time, he gets to put, I guess, some more time into the wrestling side of things. He looks that I missed right now.
Every Time I Die played in Asheville.
Oh my God!
2 months ago, and I missed it. Like December, beginning of January, on their final tour, and I was just like,
They would have been in Toronto this Friday coming up or Saturday coming up, and so I missed that now.
Dude, Hamrick, thanks for hanging out with us, buddy.
We love you, Chris.
Have fun at the show tonight, man.
Appreciate you.
I love that so much, man.
Oh wait, what were you just saying though before we shouted out Chris?
You were talking about the Thursday supposed to be in Toronto, right?
Oh yeah. I would have got to go see them on like Friday or Saturday of this week.
I'm glad I got to see them as many times, the handful of times that I did. I'm most glad that I got to be a part of their Every Time I Die festival, Tid the Season in Buffalo. I got to do commentary one year up there.
Oh shit!
But I think the thing is with music is like wrestling, and I think you can just never say never about anything. Like today's breakup could be tomorrow's reunion, and when people, separation, distance, and perspective can really change, I think, feelings and things like that. And I think those Every Time I Die guys, as a creative force, as a musical force, they're one thing. Like all the guys are combined into one, and you know how it is. It can be very grueling to live like that for so many years and be married to all these fucking strange men. So maybe my hope is that this separation creates like a new understanding and will ultimately allow them to mend fences, because Every Time I Die is truly too great to not be a part of music. Truly, you know what I mean? Their albums, the albums and the live shows, top notch. The dudes are all fucking great dudes. They fucking rule.
Hey man, CM Punk came back. E-Tid will too.
Yes, thank you.
And hey, Tom, thanks, buddy. Love Tom. Tom's a good guy.
Tom talks some rubbish.
Hey,
Tom, that's one of our guys. Tom,
is Tom from the UK?
He is from the UK,
okay.
And
I noted from his use of rubbish.
Yeah, I did a show with him. He interviewed me. He's gonna do a show for Body Slam. We gotta talk some details out, but we're gonna bring Tom into the Body Slam family. Man, I love Tom's work. Big fan of everything he does. He's gonna keep the Tom Talks Rubbish show. Is gonna stay on his own thing, but he's got something else planned for us. I love the guy. He does great stuff, man. So
live
thanks
from
for
the
hanging
trash
out with
can.
Tom. Yeah,
live from the rubbish bin.
Man, Tony Deppen match. But let's talk about that Mike Bailey Ninja Mac. We got that match. That match, we are a little bit on it, but there was.
It's like a kung fu movie for a bit. It was
awesome.
What
did you think watching that? Did you know they were going to go up there? Did you hear him talking about it?
I knew, you know what I'm saying, just because it's Ninja Mac, like I know someone's going to go up there, you know what I mean? And I did see Ninja Mac like having extended discussions about it, and he was definitely looking up there a lot, that I noticed, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if he went up there earlier, but I think he was definitely just feeling it out. In other words, it's Ninja Mac. So whatever the craziest thing you could do or jump off of,
he's going to want to do it. Yeah.
And that's if him and Matt Justice are able to sort it out. You know what I
mean? God. Bro, I was so nervous when I was watching them. I knew they were going up there. I was like, oh, God, they're going to go up there. But even when they put the ladder up, the ladder made me nervous because the ladder was just like wedged between the ceiling and the floor. Like it wasn't even touching the wall. I'm like, guys, that ladder's literally just sitting up. It's like not even touching.
It's so dangerous. Like it's so fucking dangerous. And again, if that was a scene in a movie, that scene would have taken either a full day or more than a full day to film. And in wrestling, they just do it live in real time once, and it's fucking perfect.
It is. Casey, look, he's still in that. You live from the rubbish bin. You're just out there fucking catchphrases left and right, man.
You don't have to steal what's a gift. The BodySlam.net crew, we are a family. Just like GCW.
God damn, how awesome is this Mike Bailey U.S. run?
Insane. It's absolutely everything about Mike Bailey is amazing. And what blows my mind the most, his return match to GCW, I believe was in Atlantic City, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up and I got to meet him because I've interacted with him for years on social media, but now I got to meet him. And I asked him just a few questions like about, what does he think about returning and stuff, just to kind of put seeds in my mind for commentary. And he said, it still sticks with me to this day, what he said, because he said that, I just look at it like this. The overwhelming majority of the people here are going to have no idea who I am. So this is like a new beginning for me. I'm going to get to go out and reestablish myself or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, I even said to him, I'm like, I think they're going to remember you, bro. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, boy. And then he goes out there and it's like the Pope or something, or Jesus came back. You know what I mean? Like,
as soon as Brass Monkey starts, people lose their shit.
They lost their shit. I was like, oh.
And
I was so happy for that.
There was no need to prove, because he and it's key to know too, because he was only away from America. It's not like he left wrestling for 5 or 7 years. He left wrestling on south of the Canadian border. You know what I mean?
He was still international.
Europe and Canada and everywhere else. But this run, Impact. Let's tip the cap to Impact. Impact, incredibly astute and all that of them to invest in Mike Bailey and to make that signing, because he is the type of talent that would kill in AEW, that would kill in New Japan, that would kill everywhere. And because of the nature now that wrestling companies seem a lot more open to working with each other and etc. I love that Speedball Bailey is a part of the Impact family, but he gets to be a part of the GCW family. but who knows where that could lead for Speedball, because Speedball is too fucking good to not be wrestling in the biggest rooms in front of the biggest crowds and all that.
Yeah.
And he's the
I
kind of
agree.
guy that, to me, should be focused on an Impact, because everything about him, his look, his demeanor, his in-ring, he's so unique and so groundbreaking that he's a guy that I would go out of my way to tune in if I heard, oh, he wrestled so-and-so on Impact this week. I would be like, oh, shit, I must watch that.
You could
Sam Stackhouse agrees with you, KG.
Yes.
Talking about, Andy wants to tell you that you're the man, by the way.
Oh,
Sam. Sorry
shit.
about that. Thanks,
Sam
Sam.
Stackhouse
Appreciate
is
it, buddy.
incredible. The whole
You-
Stackhouse
Dude.
family. The whole Stackhouse family.
You could just strap the X Division rocket to Mike Bailey, though. In Impact.
Indeed.
Oh, my
Like-
God, right?
There's an Ultimate X match going down, I think, at their like collective show, and if he's not in that, I will be shocked.
I gotta watch. I want to see. I haven't seen. I assume he's been on Impact TV lately, right?
Yeah.
I gotta see what he's doing and how he's presented and what his ring music and stuff is like. I just want to see it so I know. But yeah,
I need to check
I'm.
it out, too.
He's
I know
fucking,
I watched his first match. I know he won that, like in his debut, and it was not like it was, some like known Impact names.
Sure.
I think it was a scramble. It was like a multi-man match. I think it was a scramble.
But yeah, no, I agree. Mike Bailey. We could talk. We could talk all day about Mike Bailey.
Yeah,
but
very
I
special
wanna,
talent.
I want to talk
national
about
treasure.
that. Damn.
We're got to protect him at all costs here in Canada.
Yeah, no shit, right? Man, that age. And so next we had AJ Gray and the Extreme title match we defended against ACH, and that was awesome.
That was
dude.
a treat.
ACH hadn't been there in a couple years, right?
It was like 11 or 12 months. He wrestled for Game Changer Wrestling last January, I believe it was, but then he didn't wrestle again from January until last week. Meaning January 2021. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah.
So it was like a 12-month or something hiatus, or 13-month hiatus. Dude, but you would never know.
They beat the shit out of each other too.
Yeah, both those guys. I've been a huge ACH fan. Same thing. I was like, this guy is like a unique, one of a kind athlete and performer. You watch him get signed, you're so happy for him because you're like, well, he's made it.
Here he goes.
Finally, he's made it.
Yeah.
But here he is, and he's doing his thing, and who knows what's next for him. And the fact that we get to have him here in the now, you know what I mean, and to have him at a center stage in Atlanta this weekend, man,
right.
Against
boy.
Deppen too. That's gonna be so good. Him and Tony Deppen. I love Tony Deppen. I'm a big Tony Deppen fan.
Same.
He's great. Super great.
We put over Deppen every time we can on this show, and I'm not in my room where I've got my signed Tony Deppen signed, but
sign Tony Deppen.
Hard to believe that Tony Deppen isn't signed. Hard to believe that Tony Deppen hasn't at least been brought in to do Dark and Elevation at the very least. I mean, I don't think that's his lot in life. I think he should be signed. But
no, the fact that he hasn't got, I don't know if he hasn't ever been offered one or something, but I'd assume he probably would have taken it if they offered one.
Tony, I think if AW called and said we'd like you to wrestle this Friday or whatever, I think Tony would be there.
Yeah,
he would be there.
I'm shocked it hasn't happened.
And look what he did in Ring of Honor. Even if you want to, for some reason, if you don't watch GCW or whatever, look at his work in Ring of Honor, and that's
Violence Unlimited is one of my favorite things about Ring of Honor.
And they trusted him enough to put the TV title on him without even having under contract.
A contract. And then what I loved is not only put the TV title on him, but then had him defend it on GCW shows to boost the status and boost the visibility of Ring of Honor. And that made me respect Ring of Honor even more. I have a huge respect for everyone there. But the idea that they weren't resting on their laurels of saying, well, we're Ring of Honor. Why the fuck would we do that? They're smart enough to just realize reality and say, you know what? Not only does it not hurt us to have this belt on Tony and have him defending it around the indies and get it put over on commentary, it actually benefits us. Like that my one wish is that, I mean, obviously now with Tony Khan buying it, it's all different, but I wish that Ring of Honor hadn't booked their venue for WrestleMania weekend so early, because I felt like the ultimate rebranding and a relaunch of Ring of Honor would be at the Collective, where it's like, we're Ring of Honor. We're not some stodgy, uptight corporate wrestling company. We are the original wrestling company of the people, so to speak, and we're here to show our stuff. I mean, they're going to have a great showing anyway in their huge building, and it's going to be packed, I'm sure. But just for me, for the visual aesthetic, I just love the idea of Ring of Honor being like, we are part of this independent scene. And it's a boost to the Collective as well. It's a mutually beneficial thing,
Part of what's been really cool watching a lot of independent shows over the last few months has been, since ROH made that announcement, having their championships defended all around. Like Jonathan Gresham's been defending that belt.
Yes.
In every promotion you can name, and some that might not even have names. Like he's defending it against everybody. And Briscoe's same thing.
And it helped keep them visible. You know what I mean?
It kept them relevant when everybody thought they were going to die.
And that costs no money to do. It just requires an astute view of the business.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would have said, we can't have our belt on some other show. But those people will be stupid.
And Gresham's bringing that belt to Atlanta next week.
Oh, yes, he is.
Against Blake Christian, the world on GCW match that we didn't get.
Right. Yeah, Gresham had some issues at that time, but Gresham is cleared and ready to go. And man, Gresham is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. Another one of those guys. And I read his testimonial, I believe it was yesterday, where he was just talking about how he would not even be alive today. He wouldn't be anything today if it wasn't for Ring of Honor, and how Ring of Honor gave him a platform and a foundation and validation to be the best performer he can be. And that, I think wrestling as a whole owes a debt of gratitude to Ring of Honor for keeping a guy like Gresham in this business, keeping him in this game. And I'm sure Gresham's not the only one, you know?
I didn't watch wrestling from 2008 till early 2020. And so I missed the WWE run of like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson.
Wow.
But seeing these guys on my TV now, I already know who they are, because the only thing that kept me watching wrestling until 2008 was ROH DVDs of the early 2000s era.
Oh, wow.
So now, Sunday's going to be such a good day for me. Just I'm so happy, like seeing like the Danielson and the CM Punk that I remember as a teenager is like that's what I'm seeing again now, basically.
I can't wait to see it in a fucking movie. I can't wait to see a dog collar match. I'd like to put it right. I am probably the only person who's going to watch the CM Punk MJF dog collar match in a movie theater that actually held in his own hands the original dog collar and chain that Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine used.
Whoa.
Dude,
how's that awesome for a unique attribute? Put that on my bio.
That's really cool. That's really put that on your resume.
I went to this
headshots.
Convention one.
How does that happen?
Yeah. Oh, we lost him for a second.
Yeah,
but to answer this, Tom, I think that it's buying the library. Definitely. I don't think it's to be a network. I think I think it's the HBO Max talk. Yeah. It's just to stack your library for that.
They plugged HBO Max on Dynamite the other night. Like
the company, the network owns it. I mean, Turner, Warner, it's all the same thing. So
it's inevitable. I'm hoping, as a Canadian, where we don't have HBO Max and HBO programming is baked into like a weird Canadian streaming service, because we have these mandatory
laws. Yeah,
we have these content must contain a certain percentage of Canadian produced. So we don't have HBO Max.
That's
so HBO is like so I have no idea how that's going to work here. And
you might have to get a VPN.
Yeah, like Body Slam NordVPN sponsorship when?
Yeah, dude, I've been looking. Sean got him one. I need to do it. I would say if anything else, they'd probably, for people that can't do HBO Max, I'd say they'd probably just run through Fight, because they got that deal with Fight internationally already. I would just assume that that's where it go, but who knows, man?
And that library, just knowing where that library is going to be, and hopefully the interface to use the library and how it flows. You know, there's never been a wrestling network ever that lets you just press play, like say whatever on the February 1st TV show, press play, and then it'll play you in order. February 1st, February 8th, February 14th, and then the pay-per-view that everything crescends to, and then the next Monday, the next Friday. I don't know why,
drives me
but
insane, bro.
It only makes sense. It's like listening to albums in the order they were released. That's a lot of people want that. Just press play, set it, and forget it.
You either get to watch the TV shows in order or the pay-per-views in order, but you can never have the two intermingle.
It makes no sense.
Me. Or try putting it like where you got numerous shows. Like when I do my WCW watch, so I'm doing it in order. It's like, okay, if I can get the Saturday nights, I would have to do that. Try to watch Saturday night and then hit the pay-per-view. And then Nitro started, so it's like, all right, run Nitros and then the pay-per-view. And then when Thunder comes in, you can start adding Thunder. And if you can add in any of those TBS shows, the Saturday night, the main event, Pro, Worldwide, like they all told storylines through that too.
Sure.
Because if I go back and I'm watching these old Nitros and shit, and they're like talking about a run-in or something that happened on Saturday night that's progressing a storyline that they're watching now, and you're like, shit, I can't even go back and watch that because it's not even available for me now. Either way, which sucks that they have such a limited selection on their network.
I miss Saturday night.
And that interface is terrible. And that's another problem with HBO Max too, is they don't have the interface and the way to present it like you were talking about, how they it's not they have that in there.
It's fascinating to me like how these companies, like Peacock and etc. can spend not just millions and billions to create the thing, but then lose billions and millions in the launching and retaining properties to utilize, but within all that never build a really cool interface, which I would be job one, priority one. You know what I mean?
Hulu, for example, has been the worst forever, and it's still terrible. But it's like, goddamn, Hulu's been around for how many years, and they just not improved their fucking interface on their.
It's like a government bureaucracy or something. Like a short San Francisco anecdote. There's like the main street in San Francisco is like, it's like the artery of the city that everyone drives on. It's part of 101, but it's, a street. And they have had the bulk of it shut down for like 5 fucking years to build, to put these bus lanes in the center of the road so like more people can ride bicycles or whatever the fuck. And then it's finally supposed to open, but it's all still closed. So I just found out last night, they built the whole fucking thing. I can't even tell you how much it cost. And they just now realized, wait a minute, the buses have mirrors on them. So the way we built these lanes, the buses can't be in them because they'll just knock each other's mirrors off whenever they pass each other. And not only that, the people waiting at the bus stop, the mirror would come by if it's still there and hit them all in the fucking face as they're waiting. And they don't find that shit out until it's fucking built.
Oh my god!
And that to me is the network interface shit.
That
Same,
is,
yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
That
shit.
That's some shit. Like, I'm speechless with how just thinking of how fucking stupid that all is.
Yeah, that to me is the interface scenario. You know, what I mean?
That's the perfect description of it. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Like, no one measured and there was engineers. There was engineers with tape measures down on the fucking street yesterday, being like, mirrors, huh? Like that means they never even drove 2 fucking buses. Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, but it's like bureaucracy, but corporate bureaucracy. You know what I mean?
I couldn't imagine the shitstorm of like, how do we fix this? Where it's like,
just gotta widen everything by
how do you fix that?
How?
You can't. You can't.
You can't. Wow. Yeah.
And it's the center. So the buses are a lane this way and a lane the opposite way in the center of the road, and then the road. But now so the sidewalk's not moving. In other words, the whole idea doesn't even work on paper. So how did it get built? And now what do you do? And the buses are so horrible here. Do we even need a fucking double bus lane or whatever? It's fucking horrible.
That's perfect.
Anyway, sorry for my rant.
No, that's perfect. This is because like the Peacock app, for example. Like, so I've been running through ECW like 93 on recently with my buddy White Mike.
Oh man.
And so we're almost to like Ultra Clash 93, which was like there's like super show that they've been plugging for the TV for like 2 months now. And we got to that point in it, and it's like, okay, so I go to like all events and I start scrolling through, and it's just not there. I'm like, where is it? Like, why can't I watch this? So I go to search, I type it in, and it pops up instantly. But if you go to like all ECW shows and you're looking
it's just not there.
And I'm like, how can it? Why is it just not? Why is some shit just not showing up? I have to actually physically type in the name of the show to find it. It's just not there. It's just the worst fucking.
And in this digital world, it's not like a physical box got sent out to everybody. You can upgrade, you can update shit. You know what I mean?
It can't be that hard.
No.
Like, I mean, there's plenty of smart people that know how to program. There's got to be like,
you can build a better interface and do an update, just like every app does, just like every video game does.
Just give some sorting options.
Yeah, how about that?
Sorting options.
Yeah, sorting options is the worst.
On Netflix, I just want, like, when they give you the strip of all the movies, I'm like, can I have this like either by release year or alphabetically?
Right.
That's the only way I'm going to remember everything that I'm scrolling past to find something else.
And also, dear Netflix, I don't want you to start playing the movie with audio when I'm just looking at the covers of the movies. No one asked for that. I'm not going to be like, oh, this movie looks interesting. I'm trying to just look at the fucking cover.
I want to read the description.
Maybe if you stay a certain time, but not 2 seconds. Like,
Correct.
not as soon as it hits it. Like, like, shit, give me a second.
And it's all to be loud. You can be sitting there all in a silent room just scrolling, and then it's like, come on. No one asked for that feature. But you know what? It probably boosts their internal play numbers and stats that they can sell to advertisers and whatever. It's the autoplay of Netflix.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it is. And I like the ones where it's like HBO Max and Hulu, their volumes are fucking terrible. So when you go to watch the show, it's like, I can't hear it. You got to turn it up. And then the commercials kick in, and it's just fucking 10, 12 levels louder than the rest of the show. And you're like, just constantly adjusting the volume up and down. Like, how is that still? It's 2022.
It is really weird.
How is there not?
That's a common criticism I have of like people on YouTube when they're editing their videos, and they edit their volume so low that when they get like a mid-roll ad in the middle of their video, the ad is like 4 times louder than the YouTube video.
I don't know what that's a reference to. Oh, that's the buses. I was like, what is Sam talking about?
People still ride horses.
I was like, what is Sam talking about? I was like, oh, the bus story. Okay.
Sam Stackhouse lives in Smokelahoma.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm jealous about Tom having the network still, but man.
VPN or whatever, man, you could have it too.
Mm-hmm. So I want to let's talk about some more of this stuff. We that second year crew match with everybody was amazing. We could talk 20 minutes about everybody involved in that, but let's talk about the main event, like the X-Pac thing, because that's something that was. What was it like being in that building for that, man? Just to see the emotions that fans had of being like, oh, this is great, and then the turn and the swerve, and then. I mean, shit, there were buckets being thrown, Joey going into the crowd, basically. Like, what the fuck was going on right there, man?
Malice at the Ukrainian Cultural Center.
Yeah, dude.
I had no idea that any of that was going to happen with Joey, so no one was more surprised than me. X-Pac is someone that I love personally and professionally. I just think he's the greatest. I love that he chose GCW to make his dramatic return. It blows my fucking mind up that I saw him quoted in an interview saying that he contacted WWE to say, I'm in ring shape. I'm ready. You can put me in the Rumble or whatever. And they just fabed him or whatever, which, I mean, hello, Hall of Fame wrestler. Hello, can still go. Trailblazer, icon of that style. You know what I mean? And so anyway, fuck them because got it.
Missed opportunities. I mean? That they are known for missed opportunities. Obviously, we've talked about it numerous times throughout this show already today. That's the perfect example of one right there. I mean,
and there was magic. There was magic in the room. You know, some of Sean's friends and family were there to see him, and I know he wanted to go out like on his own terms to be able to do his own thing. And it's so magic to think about that. GCW is this upstart independent company. And they're able to somehow pay respect and give back to people like Sean Waltman, who without Sean Waltman, there'd be no GCW. Do you know what I mean? Like without his influence.
You guys have developed the reputation of people know, like the legends know that they're going to get treated well and the right way from you guys.
Scotty Too Hottie in January.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's not surprising to me. And that's how ECW got that too. I mean, you got guys that would come out, Terry Funk, and they would come like, I need one more spot, like Dr. Death, like these guys, like I'm going to go there because that's where I can get it.
Terry
That's
Gordy,
what you guys are doing now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great.
And great Sasuke and so many, you know, like internationally.
So many people. And that's where you guys are developing into that same, you know, reputation for being a place where like, hey, I got a little bit of gas left in the tank. I think I can, you know, still get something out of this. And you guys are going to take advantage of it and do it the right way. And, you know, like missed opportunity for WWE. They could have run this program. They could have run a Waltman return program for 6 months and got good fucking TV out of it.
And that Scotty Too Hottie match, dude, the Scotty Too Hottie match with Joey Janela. Joey has a long history of bringing the best out of people and being able to work with everyone from Marty Jannetty to Scotty Too Hottie to Sean Waltman to Great Sasuke, on and on and on.
That's
but PCO, oh God. But he's able to, Joey is just magic in the ring. And I feel like it hasn't been fully utilized on television, but it's been it hasn't been fully utilized all the time on television, but it has been fully utilized in GCW. And just seeing that moment and, you know, of course, fuck Matt Cardona, fuck Vanilla Brian Myers, who used to be kind of the cool, likable one. You know, I respect him.
Yeah.
But I love that Joey and Sean triumphed over those goofs, and I was hoping that would be the end of those goofs until Matt Cardona handpicked Action Mike Jackson to be his opponent, not knowing probably what Action Mike Jackson is capable of.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that. Honestly, man, like I love seeing him at WrestleCade. He was hanging out at WrestleCade, and I got to talk to Mike again.
I'm looking forward to Chris Dickinson beating the shit out of Matt Cardona at Spring Break.
The other day, Matt Cardona tweeted, like, what is the name of Chris Dickinson's finisher? Does he even have one? And I tweeted something like, his finisher is ripping your arms off your body and, like, beating the bronzer and beard dye off your face with it. He calls it, what did he call? I'm sorry. I was like, he calls it, I don't know. He calls it karma, or he calls it what I had a funny way of ending it. But it was just so... I don't think Cardona understands anything about a guy like Chris Dickinson. Chris Dickinson is like a seething cauldron of rage and testosterone and pent up aggression. And I've seen Chris Dickinson destroy people in real life. I've seen Chris Dickinson destroy people in the fucking ring. And Matt Cardona can bring his girlfriend. He can bring fucking Hornswoggle, Brian Myers. He can bring all his Hasbros. He can bring the Kamala variants. He can bring all the fucking prototype figures. But nothing is going to save Matt Cardona from Chris Dickinson. And just so it's on the record here at Body Slam, I came up with a pretty good idea for Matt Cardona. I came up with it as a joke, but someone who's always putting him over on Twitter was commenting on my stuff, shitting on him on Twitter. And someone asked, like, does Matt Cardona pay you to do this stuff? And I was like, let's be honest. Matt Cardona pays him in doll wipes with a Z and then the trademark. And I'm like, doll wipes, dude, in the same way that there's sneaker wipes and all that stuff. And for that industry, and I know for the Cardonas of the world, they like to do the get in the bathtub nude, you know, with a whole array of figures and lovingly wash them and all that stuff that they do. But when you don't have time for that or you're on the go, why not bust out a doll wipe and just, you know, get that little scuff off your Hogan LJN?
Yeah,
I think there's money in it, and I want
that's money.
Yeah, you can be always ready
right?
to clean your dolls.
No dirty dolls here, but there is a dirty daddy that is coming for you, Zack Ryder.
Yeah,
Mid Cardona.
Reed Speed Hefner agrees with you. Chris is going to destroy Cardona.
My God, dude.
Yeah.
Cardona has never, ever faced anyone like Chris Dickinson. And as someone from New York, the difference between Long Island and Staten Island is night and fucking day. There's an old saying, what is it? Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. Standing up and fighting is what living here means. Now, you notice.
Uh-oh.
I noticed. We noticed. We'll get it when he comes back. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to that saying. I like it.
I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, I want to see where it goes, too. But, oh, we lost you for a second. So
Sorry.
We got the beginning of your saying.
Oh, it was Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. Standing up and fighting is what living here means. Notice Long Island is not included in that list of places. Long Island, the self-named Strong Island, if you want to compare that to the rage that lives in a place like Staten Island, the fury, you know what I mean, of the place that brought you the Wu-Tang Clan, then Matt Cardona is going to fucking find out. You know, Chris Dickinson is going to really teach him something. Like Cardona feels confident because of his, despite being handily defeated by Janela and X-Pac, but I don't think he has any idea what's going to happen to him. And Dickinson is going to kick his head off his fucking shoulders, drop his decapitated near corpse on his decapitated neck hole, and then just probably pin him with 100 count.
Oh, man.
One island has Matt Cardona, one island has Eddie Kingston. Say no more.
Thank you.
There you go. That's very, very telling, right? But man, that was such a moment, though. The Joey, I felt it coming. I felt it coming. The turn.
I did not.
But, I mean, dude, this show is called Welcome to Heartbreak. There was no heartbreak yet on the show. I was like, I was like, it's a little late for Valentine's Day. I wonder if that's just a play on it. But then, like, it was perfect title with that finish, like the heartbreak of like we get this great moment, this such a heartwarming return moment, and then Joey
and
just
the
being like
fury, the fury of the audience, and some of the audience doesn't like. In other words, it's wrestling. Everyone should know how to act, and I like the fact that if someone's going to act the fool with Joey Janela, like, dude, this is the real world. If you want to stand 8 inches from someone and throw something in their face as hard as you can while they're looking at you, what the fuck do you think is going to happen?
Be fucking ready, man. Like, I love it too. Yeah, like
I loved it the way he just held onto the ropes and just threw several kicks and just right out into the crowd and put his hands up to everyone. Like,
well, apparently that guy had been a problem. I've been reading lots of people tweeting and talking about that one specific guy had been an issue all fucking show.
I believe in the industry, those people are known as the fucking goof.
Yes, apparently a fucking goof is definitely that's a nicer way to put it than I would have. But yeah.
He also, I guess, a few years ago tried like coming in towards the ring or into the ring during a Jacob Fatu match for another company, and Jacob Fatu just fucking leveled him.
I saw somebody talking about that. Yeah,
and if you don't learn from that, then you know what I'm saying. You probably shouldn't be able to buy a ticket.
That's dummy. Just why. That's not sane thought. There, no. I would.
Yeah, if you don't learn from that, you're not going to learn from fucking anything. So,
towards the ring is not the direction you walk to a Jacob Fatu.
And look, dude, it doesn't matter if you're any size wrestler. It doesn't matter if you're Ninja Mac or the largest wrestler you've ever seen or whatever. The best life advice I could ever give anyone on here is never, ever try to fight a wrestler. A wrestler, even though wrestling is an art form, a wrestler will fucking hurt you and punish you in ways you have no idea. And they're able to dodge and evade and counter and do so many things inherently. It's in there. It's not something they have to think about. And you're going to lose every fucking time. You're going to look really stupid.
When has it ever worked out for any fan that's like, you know what? I'm going to hop the rail or I'm going to get in here and do...
Oh, Roadblock. The Roadblock.
That's
you know that? Do you know that story?
I don't think so. You're talking about WCW Roadblock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roadblock. I forget what town. If he was from Rochester, I think it was either Rochester, Roadblock, upstate New York. Either way, Roadblock was a fan, and he's big, obviously. Yeah. And he saw Hulk Hogan at the gym, and he tried to approach Hulk Hogan about how can I be a wrestler, and Hogan was just like, "Good night to all you jabronis and self marks, whatever." He wouldn't. He just blew the guy off.
No, sold him. Yeah.
So then Roadblock bought a ticket to a WWF show, and it was One Man Gang versus Hulk Hogan on a house show. And Roadblock had the idea of, I'm going to run into the ring and attack fucking Akeem, One Man Gang, whatever. I'm going to physically attack One Man Gang and beat him up, and then they'll have
everybody
no
will
choice
know I'm badass,
but to make me Hulk Hogan's opponent. And he ran in the ring and attacked One Man Gang and got the better of him. And Slick was hitting One Man Gang with Slick was hitting Roadblock with his cane like as hard as he fucking could to just get him out of there. And it was a whole melee. And then he ended up getting into the business. But other than that,
that's
I wish
fucking
there was
wild.
footage of that, but that's fucking insane.
The dude who hopped the railing at AEW last year got tackled by Justin Roberts. Like,
did someone jump the rail at AEW?
Yeah.
Oh, that weird.
Miami.
It was Miami.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
Some
right
dude
after
hopped the railing. Like it was like
he was doing it for
Cornette. Promo. There's a promo in the ring.
Oh yeah, of course. Jim Cornette,
hopped.
that positive and inspiring force in
wrestling. Cornette did not condone any of that.
I know, but that's like Donald Trump not condoning something. Like if you inflame and machinate to make something happen, or your fake apology later or condemnation of it doesn't mean shit. If I incite a riot and then I'm like, oh, I don't support riots, then I'm just full of shit, like Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
But
I will say,
dude. He got almost in the ring, and Justin Roberts like grabbed his leg and pulled him off the ring.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I had to stop when I was a ref. I had to stop fans from getting in the ring.
I was gonna say there was those old WCW ones where fucking Randy Anderson took out somebody one time. I think too,
viciously.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, love that. But
it's never worked. Just
buy a ticket, take the ride, enjoy the show. It's a show.
Stop being dumb.
Just like a concert or a play. Like it's not about you.
Yeah.
And there's a line. Don't cross it.
Yeah, that's the only difference between GCW and hardcore shows. There's no stage diving at the GCW show.
Correct. That's it.
Yeah.
Different. And sometimes hardcore shows are at venues that don't allow stage diving. You know what I mean? It's not an alien concept.
Yeah, exactly.
But we got a double shot. We'll touch a little bit on it. We'll try to go quicker. We'll go over the double shot, and then we'll get to Atlanta real quick. But so the second night, you guys had the Coldest Winter. We had Ninja Mac over Jack Cartwheel, another fucking stellar match. Jordan Oliver, Dark Sheik over. That was awesome. But Thunder Rosa and Tony Deppen had almost 20 minutes, and that was fucking awesome.
Thunder Rosa is great. Tony Deppen is great. They together, separately, they're incredible. Together, they're absolute magic. And Thunder Rosa, I've seen her numerous times for AEW get the largest pop of the night when she comes out for her match. In her GCW appearances so far, she gets this massive ovation. She connects with people on a whole other level. There's something magic about Thunder Rosa. It's an honor to have her be a part of GCW.
I keep joking. I mean, I'm not joking, but every time like that pop you're talking about, it's the new like road with the new.
I've
pop,
said that
dude.
too.
It's insane. Like the
you
crowd.
were at Arthur Ashe Stadium, dude. She was the first person out of the night, and it was a roar. And I measured it, with my supersonic earpieces all night, and I was like, man, if that's the roar for Thunder Rosa, what's it going to be when this megastar comes out? But no, it was the biggest pop of the night, and it wasn't just at Arthur Ashe.
It's everywhere. I've been everywhere I go because I do a lot of these AEW shows. Like every event when she comes out for dark usually, and it's biggest pop for a dark taping earlier before or after than it was for the entire Dynamite.
Correct.
And it's just something else, man.
And then Deppen is such a wrestling machine. Tony Deppen is just professional wrestling, and he's a guy that there's no gimmick involved. He doesn't have tattoos. He doesn't have a crazy hairdo. He has no piercings. He's not dark and brooding. He's just an asshole that wrestles way better than anyone you know. You know what I mean? And he just kills it. He's so great. It's hard to even put into words the greatness of Tony Deppen, the gatekeeper for real. You know what I mean? If you can hang with Deppen, you can hang. But Deppen's so good that he's made numerous people and helped launch, enhance, and boost up their careers just in how he can make them look in the ring. I don't think he gets his due, and neither does the Pilgaroo Brewery, which I think if you're in the Pennsylvania area, you should always stop by Tony's Brewery, have a few beers, maybe do a trivia night with the homie Rice Brensberg from AEW.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bryce comes and does trivia night. I was gonna because you Mike talked to Tony about beer for what 20 minutes, 15 minutes when we interviewed him last time.
Oh yeah,
love beer. That was fun.
I'm a part owner, many people are, but I'm a part owner of Tony Deppen's brewery. Like they did a crowdfunding where you could own a little stake. I mean, again, it's a little stake, but just the idea of it, you know what I mean, is awesome. And I love that he's doing it and that it's successful. And I hope the next time we're on the East Coast, I've actually put in a request because I didn't realize they have some sort of like portable beer containers that you could temporarily kind of
growler.
Yeah. So I want some. I'm going to work it out with Tony. I want to get some growlers. I've never had the Pilgaroo brew myself, and as part owner,
awesome.
I feel like I have to experience it to be able to be an ambassador for the brand.
Right. It's good marketing. Yeah, you got to know what you're selling, bro.
Indeed.
No, growlers are great. We have them here, like, because craft beer is huge here in like the Asheville area, because Asheville's Beer City, USA, for the last 20 years, basically. But we got growlers. You can just take them and those fill them up, and there's just a set price, and you can just get growlers at these fucking breweries all the time.
How long do they stay fresh?
Mike, you probably know better than me. How long does it stay? Because we usually drink them pretty quick. So they don't last too long. But
they don't last very long. I don't know. A
couple days, maybe.
Oh, that's fine.
They're gone in it's gone in a couple days.
Yeah.
Here. So
I mean, it's not a lot. You know what I mean? It's just like a big bottle. It's like a bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking of the time if Tony bottled it on a Friday and brought it to me on a Saturday and I drank it on a Sunday. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Once you pop it, it's going to be good once
it's a beer,
Yeah, it's like beer. Once you pop the growler top, then you got to kind of go with it. But,
then you got to drink it all.
Yeah, like if it's been sealed and he's just bringing it to you, like your only real thing you're going to have to worry about is temperature.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be cool, right?
Well, it depends. It depends how cold you like your beer.
Oh, super cold.
Yeah. Well, then you're going to want to. Yeah.
You want to cool
32.1 degrees.
Yeah, you're going to want to put it on when you get there. But so wait, where were we at here? Oh yeah, so we moved on from Welcome to Heartbreak. We touched on a little bit here of
Tony and Thunder,
but I want to talk about this Jimmy Lloyd Alex Zane match because like, have you talked to Alex? Is he okay? Because I know he had to get the surgery on his eye.
Yeah,
his arm was just fucking ripped to shit. But like, I saw that he's got matches coming up in a couple weeks, or a week or this week or next week. So I guess it's okay.
The doctors, the current status, as I understand it, from talking to Alex and from talking to Brett last night on the official GCW podcast, available only on Patreon. The idea is the doctors have done the surgery. The doctors feel like it went well. He doesn't have all of his sight currently in the damaged eye, but they feel like day by day, into the week by week, it will return fully is the plan. And although obviously he's not wrestling this weekend or next weekend or whatever, He will. The current trajectory allows him to be a part of Ring of Honor and Game Changer and everything on the collective weekends.
I think they just announced his match at the Super.
Yeah, like yesterday, I think.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, so I guess he's, since they just announced it, that he had to be able to go by then. So I was assuming he was healing pretty well. But
and I can tell you this: right after that match, I went into the dressing room, and Alex Zane was there, like doing a photo shoot, basically. Like there's several photographers, and he's in front of a background. He's taking all these fucking pictures, talking to people, whatever. And then the medic comes over to me and is like, he needs to go to the hospital now. And I was like, what? And the guy's like, his how did he say it? His pupil is leaking. And I'm just the idea of that, it still makes me queasy. Like I can't get it out of my mind. And he's there doing all this stuff. He's totally calm. And then some people are like, hey, Alex, we got to take you. And he's like, okay, cool. Let me just do this and do that. And then Big Vin was like, somebody take him to the fucking hospital right now. And then Brett just came over like, all right, everyone calm down. All right, who's going to take him? All right. And then he went off to the hospital. The first hospital wouldn't even admit him. They were just like, we're not built for this. Go somewhere else. So all covered in blood and everything. And with his pupil leaking and his retina pierced with glass, they went to a second place and they were able to, stitch up his arm and do surgery on his eye. But I mean, it goes to show you just how dangerous wrestling is and can be. But the fact that he was so calm with glass in his eye doing these pictures, I even took a few because I didn't know at the moment. So when I saw him there doing all these pictures, I take pictures for behind the scenes on the Patreon. So I snap a couple, and then I get the word from the medic, and I'm like, holy fuck! And it just shook me up so much. Like that one, because I love Alex Zane and I would hate to see him hurt. But just the sheer grossness, like I pictured, you have your eye and then there's the black dot, and I just pictured the fucking black part leaking out. God, I can't even think about it. It's horrifying. I wish him nothing but the best, man. I love that dude. Top tier talent.
I went back and tried to watch. I couldn't even find when that happened in the match. Like, when did he hurt his eye?
Yeah, I haven't seen it back yet. I mean, it had to be. Oh, someone told me that it was
It had to be one of the spots with the plates.
I mean, yeah, it's one of the glass spots or the tube. It could have been a light tube instead of the panes.
There were no tubes in that match.
Were there?
Was there no? Was it only the panes?
I like made a weird mental note of that where I was like, whoa, there's no tubes in this one.
Interesting. Okay, because I would have thought that giant cut on his arm that he pulled the glass out of on camera, I would have thought that was a large light tube glass, but I guess not. I haven't.
No, it was just a corner, like a pane in the corner.
Because I know they had panes in all the corners set up. I just assumed there was light tubes as well. Yeah, honestly, I didn't even remember.
And he did the one. Yeah, and then he did the one where he had Jimmy under the chair, under the pane.
Yeah, and he did the move onto the glass.
Yeah, could have caught his arm on that.
There was that, and there was like two corners, and I think those were the only three like glass spots. And then there's barbed wire doors.
Yeah, but damn, man, yeah, like that was wild to watch. I'm glad he's okay. I was glad you could give me a little bit more on that because I just gauged by I was just going by what I saw booked. I was like, well, if he's being booked in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month or whatever, like, he should be okay.
Pictures are gnarly.
Oh
though,
man,
posted like
I don't know how I missed. I don't know how I missed it. Like that I've seen the shot now of like
when he's
the entry wound here, and then he's like pulling it out the other side, and I somehow didn't even see that during the show, and I'm watching on the monitor.
Yeah, I didn't see it either until I saw the posts and tweets with the pictures. I was like, when did that shit happen?
I'm like calling the match on a monitor, and I didn't see that. And I'm looking for things, you know what I mean? The little things are what I'm looking for, you know?
What a way to pop your deathmatch cherry, really, right? Shit.
Professional deathmatch cherry. He has wrestled. Yeah. It's been a long time, but he did wrestle. I think I said the year on commentary. I forget.
There's some backyard stuff, right?
Yeah, he wrestled in the backyard. Yeah. Maybe it was 2009. Or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
That he did death matches in the backyard, but that was it.
Where's he? Is he from Tennessee? What part of the country is he from?
He is from. It's where I'm trying to think. He used to travel a lot with Blake Christian, but Blake is from Tennessee and Zane is from. Damn, because of all the Taco Bell branding now, I don't even know where the fuck he's from.
See, I can't remember because I used to remember him coming up in the East Tennessee area before.
Okay,
he
yeah.
showed up with you guys, so I remember years ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, is that the same guy?" You know, when I saw him doing the, I think your backyard show.
That was his debut, yeah.
That when I saw him do that,
Kentucky.
He's from
Really?
Okay.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
I wonder if he lives there though. I'm gonna have to find out because now I'm racking my brain. Like, where does he live?
He moved to Orlando from because I remember he had just moved to Orlando for the WWE shit, and then they fired him. So it was like he just moved down
there.
there.
Well, he was dead weight, to be fair.
Right? Yeah. What are they gonna do with him?
Him, Blake Christian, and
what can you do with
Carl
those guys?
Anderson, and help me out here. I know there's a few more.
Oh, Samoa Joe.
Oh, dead weight. Talk about dead weight, man. When has Samoa
not-
Joe ever impressed anyone?
It's all right.
Yeah,
There's
what's
plenty
he
of
ever
other
done?
kids. There's plenty of other kids out there that want to play with those toys. So don't worry.
Oh my God, yeah, Samoa Joe, a god.
Like,
But yeah, no, like that's into the fire with him, man. Tonight with that death match, I was all the flowers to Zayn for that, dude. That shit was wild. What a fucking match.
Top tier talent and another guy that's made for TV, made to be an action figure. All of that. He's ready.
He's
Jimmy
coming
was
into
like
it
the
too.
Perfect dude to have that match with him too.
And he's really starting to come into this character. This
Now that he's
persona,
the sauce god, yeah,
right.
I don't know if
love
you
this.
can see it on camera. He has like a little hipster mustache and the
It's
glasses, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really starting to grow into this and get it. You know what I mean? Like instead of just being like, all right, I got to be something more than just a guy that can fucking go in the ring. I got to be like, I got to have a persona and an image that like you said, resonates and connects a little bit better with other than the Taco Bell thing. But dude, he's into it, man. Like this red coat, the fur and shit he's doing now.
The red sunglasses and
it's money.
I believe it's like the sauce god era, if I'm not mistaken, on the verbiage.
That's perfect too, right?
He's just a great talent and one of those guys. Like I saw him for the first time, like many people at the GCW backyard show, and he's so tall, especially for independent wrestling. And I'm like, wow, like who the fuck is he's a good looking kid, a good looking man. Like who the fuck is this guy? He's in great shape. And then I see his match and it's like, who the fuck is this guy? Do you know what I mean?
Did he do is he the one that went off the roof in that show?
I know he did insane stuff.
He did I remember him doing some shit over the ropes through the table through the door on the ground. And I think he went off the fucking top of the garage or the little shed
and landed right at me and Nick's feet or something, right?
Yeah.
But me and Nick Gage were doing commentary and oh man.
Wow.
That show was fucking insane.
Well, those shows are so much fun. Those
one
are
of
fun, man.
One of my favorite matches with him, it's actually on the show right just over behind your right shoulder there, was him, Ninja Mac, and Leo at Fight Club.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That impromptu 3-way match was that shit was so good.
Anytime you put that level of talent in the ring and take the restrictions off, I mean, what else is going to happen besides greatness? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leo's another guy that I love has gotten a good chance with you guys to be himself and it just looks like he has fun when he's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's one
of those guys
amazing talent.
And it seems like he's in places where he's not having the fun that he should have. And,
I would love to see
obviously
you guys. I would love to see you guys put on Leo and Speedball.
Oh my God.
Bro.
That
right.
one.
How has that not been manifested yet into the card somewhere?
That was like when I was thinking of Mike Bailey matches on the Indies, I was like Tony Deppen.
Sure.
Right, check. Like Blake Christian, Alex Zane, like got Blake Christian now, but like Leo Rush is one of the first ones that came to mind too. I'm like,
I know. I think maybe the reason they haven't been matched up during Bailey's return yet is, if you notice, I don't think Leo Rush has done any matches since his last AEW match, and I saw that he was booked for something upcoming, and he was pulled off of it, or he pulled off, or was canceled.
I haven't seen him since World on GCW.
Yeah.
That when he wrestled Blake, and that was the last time I've seen him.
Okay.
I don't know if I've seen him since then either.
I wasn't sure if he had an AEW match or something after that or not.
No, I think they already
he had something. I don't know.
His like whole being a free agent thing had already come out.
Yeah, when I was in New York, that was the day. That was
show.
the Saturday was when he had put when he tweeted out that he's gonna be a free agent and let the contract run out or whatever.
Yeah, they hadn't put him on TV.
That was that was Saturday. Saturday or so it was either the night of the Hall of Fame or the night before it was either Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, it was that same weekend because I remember.
So yeah, I'm not
being
sure
in the
if,
hotel.
I'm not sure if Leo is injured or just working through something physically or
He does
not.
the music too, right? So
And he has music and other things.
must
So
be
I'm
on
not
music
sure.
break. Who knows?
I did see he canceled the show maybe for next weekend or something like that.
He's the last thing he did was he did the World on GCW, and then the next weekend he did Battle of Los Angeles. He did those 2 nights.
Okay.
First and second round. Battle
He
of
got
Los
hurt
Angeles.
at Bola.
Oh,
He got
that's
hurt at
right.
Bola.
He got hurt at Bola.
Yeah,
hurt against
somebody
Buddy
threw
Matthews.
because somebody threw a drink in the ring and he fucking slipped on it.
Yep. So there we go. We got to the bottom of it. We worked through it. Yeah.
Stop throwing
drinks
in the fucking ring.
Yeah. Stop throwing full fucking drinks and trying to injure people for fucking being assholes.
Right. Cheer, boo, do what you want, but please, like they used to say at the WWE house shows or WWF house shows, you can cheer, even boo, but please refrain from throwing objects into the ring.
AEW puts that out now too. After and honestly, they didn't run that warning until it was the show when you guys had Cardona and they threw the fucking Gage that match at the Showboat. The next fucking night.
Wow.
Because I was at the next Dynamite after that, like literally 4 days after that, they ran a warning. Please do not throw things, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's from fucking Cardona's match. There's because I was at the one the week before, because I went to the Dynamite the week before, and then I watched the show over the weekend, like on TV with you guys, wherever you guys were at the Showboat, and then went to the next Dynamite the next week, wherever that was at. And I think it might have been in the North Carolina show when they debuted that little. Is the little Fight for the Fallen or something like that? Yeah,
interesting.
The warning, yeah.
See, look at that GCW making change in the wrestling world.
Making change, man.
Yeah, we didn't just create a blueprint for running in the pandemic era. We also, with the help of our highly organized and communicative plants, we were able to artificially create organic moments that just happen.
Oh fuck!
It's hard, thankfully, due to there's great apps for linking people together and thank God for mass text. So everyone can be like, text one is just like, get your objects ready, 60 seconds to go. And then, I'll just give them the countdown in their ear. You'll notice I often lay back on commentary during these big moments because I'm instructing the plants. Like, all right, everyone, you in the white shirt, stand up straight. You turn your hat backwards. It looks more dangerous, that sort of thing.
Reed Speed Hefner says Leo's booked for that MLW show in May. I think I saw that too.
So I mean that's a long time away. So I'm sure he'll if he is. I don't. Oh, again, we know that he got hurt, and I guess if he pulled off something next week, we know he's maybe still hurt. So or dealing with an injury. So he might. By May, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Man, that'd be something when he comes back from injury though to put together though.
Absolute dream match. Absolute dream match.
Yeah. So what else we got on there? So we got where are we at? Let me pull back on so Jimmy White Alexander. We had Kevin Blackwood, another Kevin Blackwood Grim Reaper match. That was sleeper on that card.
Yeah.
Man.
That was so good. The straight edge spot where he stomps the doobie out. Yeah. Hell yeah.
It was great. He's so great. And Grim Reaper is so fucking great. Unsung hero. I love that GCW has given him such a platform and such a spotlight to do his thing. You know what I mean? Queens is in the house with Grim Reaper through and through.
Love some
handball master, top tier human, top level iron lung smoker. You know what I mean? He's everything to everyone.
And you guys then you had Gringo Loco defeating Mascara Dorada. And man, how about his comeback for you guys, man?
Man, I feel like this was the one where Mascara really, really stepped up. And I think being in there with someone of Gringo's pedigree and caliber, they both brought out beyond the best of each other. You know what I mean? And they just delivered a masterpiece. Gringo Loco, one of the greatest stories I feel like of 2022 and late 2021.
Breakout start this year.
Meteoric ascent of after the overnight sensation after 15 years of breaking his fucking back.
Another one of those. You guys are known for that. You guys, so many of these overnight sensations that have been 15, 13-year pros that just come out of nowhere and just finally.
And get to shine. Imagine
that.
Imagine playing to people's strengths instead of spotlighting their weaknesses or presenting them as not special or presenting them as also rans. Why not let people be the best that they can be? And you saw it with Blackwood. You saw it with Reefer. You see it with everyone, with Nick Wayne. You know what I mean? If Nick Wayne couldn't go and couldn't get those responses, he wouldn't be there. So you get the opportunity, and just getting the opportunity is an endorsement in a sense. You know what I mean? Because you're there, you're booked, you're being paid, but then you have to get that crowd. But in a way, the crowd half likes you already because you're booked. You just have to live up to and exceed those expectations, in my opinion, to then really deliver.
I've been saying for pretty much since it was announced on Twitter, but about weekly now that World on Lucha is going to be the show at Mania weekend that people are going to be like, holy shit, I'm so happy I went and saw that. And everyone who didn't go is going to be like, fuck, I wish I went and saw that.
I'm going to say the only thing about that, how did he not go with Johnny Lucha?
Yeah.
Johnny Caballero.
I was
Johnny
surprised.
Caballero, you got to be Johnny Lucha. Come on.
Johnny Lucha is perfect.
I'm really hoping my back holds up because there's finally an indie show near me, and the main event is Josh Alexander and John Hennigan.
Ooh.
Wow.
And I'm like, please God, if I can sit up long enough to travel on a bus and then sit through a wrestling show, like please let these discs hold up. I have to go to this.
Wow.
I can't wait to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, his post WWE run has been another one with you guys. Just I can't wait to see what else he does.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, I agree with you guys. That World on Lucha, Gringo Loco's outdone himself. Each announcement exceeds the previous announcement. The fact that we're having a
Psycho Clown and Wagner.
Yeah, like a rematch of the biggest Triple Mania of all time.
It's going to be cool. And dude, the whole weekend. I mean, also what AJ's doing with For the Culture, having Hit Row or whatever they're called now instead of what was it?
The Hitmakers, right?
Hitmakers and Shane Taylor Promotions.
Wow.
AJ versus Darius.
Yeah.
Right.
Billy Dixon versus what was that main event? Versus Hoodfoot. I think the verbiage was all black deathmatch main event or something like that.
It's gonna be
never been. When that's never happened, I guess, in the industry.
Yeah,
like a black deathmatch main event.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, dude, that's gonna be cool, man. That whole weekend's gonna be great. I can't wait. But like before we even get there, I mean, so you got Atlanta, the astronaut, and then after that, it's pretty much Dallas, right? You don't do anything else until then, man. So this is it. That's the go home in Atlanta. And what a debut too, man. Like,
wow,
huge.
Already announced Gresham versus Blake Christian. We touched on AR Fox versus Nick Wayne. Like, holy shit, that match right there might be the stealer of the whole thing. Because, like,
indeed,
bro, AR Fox is so good, and he's another one of those guys that's probably going to be like, oh, there's another overnight 15-year sensation.
Yeah, when
he finally gets some like actual attention.
That guy, he's such a mega star in terms of talent. Like what he's able to do in the ring, it's like it's uncanny to have that much talent all in one place, that much specialized talent all in the same building.
And what he can do, he's a good trainer. WWA 4 down there too. He runs is in Atlanta is just he's
very selective with bookings. Like I think a lot more people would book him if they could. You know what I mean? Because he's that fucking good. But it's like throwing. You put a bottle in the ocean and throw it out with a note in it, and if it comes back, you can book AR Fox.
I'm pretty sure he trained Baron Black, who's Jonathan Gresham's guy now with Terminus, because I remember I had at one point I was running like 2011. I was running some shows up here and I booked AR Fox, and it was right before he went off on his Japan run there, his first tour in Japan, and it actually overlapped and he had to cancel my show to go do those. But yeah, dude, he was bringing Baron with him, but it was like that was his guy. He's like he drives me. He's my guy. He's my trainee. So like that's where Baron Black came from, is from that WWA 4 AR Fox tree. So yeah, that's gonna be a fucking killer. I mean, he's in Atlanta too, so that's like his hometown. Like for that. And then we get Tony Deppen and ACH. Like holy shit, man! Right?
Indeed.
Speaking of Gringo and Ninja Mac got announced today.
Oh, that's not even up here yet for that, but that's gonna be
Gringo Loco and Ninja Mac got announced like just before we started this show.
Oh,
that's cool. Insane!
Within a couple hours of us starting it.
I mean, that's going to be incredible. The moment I saw Ninja Mac, same thing. I was like, this guy is destined for the biggest things. And I'm honestly shocked that he doesn't have a contract right now. I know he made his European debut this weekend. He's in Germany right now for was it WXW, right?
Yeah, the 16 karat. This weekend. Yeah.
So how great is that? And he's going to Old Japan.
Noah.
Oh, sorry, Noah. My bad.
Yeah. So that's so cool, man.
They're going to love him in Japan. I hope they love him in Germany. There's no one like Ninja Mac.
There's nothing like it. They're going to eat him up in Japan, bro. They're going to love that.
I just can't wait till he's the star that he deserves to be, because he's a once-in-a-lifetime performer. Not everybody understands him, but you don't have to understand him. What I understand is I can't tell you how many people I've seen at shows and talked to that are like the husband or wife of the or the friend of the person who's really the fan, and they just came to a company and then they saw Ninja Mac come out and like they don't even like wrestling. Ninja Mac wrestles in the first match. They buy the Ninja Mac shirt and then they take a picture with Ninja Mac at his merch booth while wearing the shirt, and they're like Ninja fucking Mac because he somehow just transcends everything. And whether you even know about wrestling or not, you see him and you're just like, this is special. You know what I mean? I'm seeing a performance.
Yeah.
Bet that.
Yeah. And he's fucking awesome. He's such a good dude. I got to hang out with him in Chicago, I guess, was the first time during that weekend and like last year. And every time since, you know, I love hanging out with that dude. He's so good shit.
He's a cool ass guy.
Really
he has that in
cool
common
dude.
with the whole GCW locker room, minus, of course. I don't consider Matt Cardona part of the locker room. They do make him dress separately, which I appreciate.
Well, that's a good segue into the Mike Jackson. We touched on it a little bit. And that's an interesting that's such an interesting ass fucking pairing. Hey, hold on, we just got some Ninja Mac just won gold in Germany too, apparently.
Oh, that's Circle Scott. What up, Scott?
Oh.
He's bringing me a super show too. I don't know. I guess he was the 16 karat. I guess he won that tournament or title. But I don't know what's going on. I have to look it up and see because he was in. I'm going to pull this up. See what he did.
Because I know he lost on night one. He said, but then I know there was a night two. I'm not sure how it works.
Let's see, I'll have to pull it up while we're sitting here and see what he won. Ninja Mac in Germany. But that's awesome for him, man. Good for him, dude.
Man, that's crazy. Good job, Ninja Mac.
I'm not sure. Maybe Scott can tell us. I haven't seen yet. I can't find it. Trying to find it while we're doing the show and not doing a good job. Anyway.
Of course, Scott, if you can throw us a little detail, like what did he win a belt? Did he win the tournament or what happened?
Oh, he posted a pic 15 minutes ago.
Okay.
He posted 15 minutes ago. All right, well, let's go pull up his Twitter then. Let me go see what we got there.
I have not been on social media for 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Same here, man.
Oh.
Same here. But Mike, you pull that up. I'm looking at some other stuff. But yeah, we also got the Extreme title match, AJ Gray and Effie in Atlanta. Effie is Atlanta, baby.
Effie is fine. Effie is everything, and AJ Gray is a fucking machine in the ring. I don't know if it was AJ said it. Champion. AJ was like, "Why is the second gear crew the only crew that has to fight each other?"
That's a good question.
But
I guess because they're the only.
I guess
they're the only ones that can because what they stand for is basically just we're badasses friends that can fight and they're not going to hate each other over the match. They're probably going to enjoy it more. It makes
titles,
sense.
When there's titles on the line, or even if it's just pride and prestige, you know what I mean? I know I never thought about Effie fighting AJ, but now that it's happening, I'm like, holy shit! And Effie's never held gold in GCW,
and that's
could this be Effie's time in his hometown? Imagine all the wrestling is gay fan, the literal fans, like people waving themselves with the fans and like pink studded confetti falling from the ceiling. And that blow up thing, like Bailey used to have that, but like two giant dicks next to the ring just blowing like
man. That'd be the production value would be amazing. I've seen Effie wrestle in that building.
Man,
I've seen Effie wrestle in center stage, and center stage loves Effie. Like I've seen him in that building, and that crowd goes nuts for him in that place. So,
update: Ninja Mac, he beat AC Romero to become the Shotgun Champion in XWX or WXW.
Ooh.
Shotgun Champion
beat AC Romero. That's an interesting pairing too. Like that's a match. I want to see that.
That's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. That's almost like reminiscent of like a Sam Stackhouse versus a Ninja Mac. They must have crossed paths, and have they crossed paths in Texas?
They have to, right? I mean, they're local in Texas. They got to. Sam,
you never know. Sam, I think, is only on his 6th or 7th now. I know it was 5th the other week, but I think he's only on his 6th or 7th Texas appearance so far. So maybe they've just been locker room compatriots.
But man, and now we've also got the main event. It looks like we got Hate Club versus Second Gear Crew for the tag team titles in a death match.
God damn, son.
Now I don't know exactly the Georgia Athletic Commission rules, but I'm guessing light tubes and all that shit's going to be wide open, huh? In glass or what? Do you know? Because I know New York, we couldn't get any glass and no blood, but I know Georgia's not like that. We're in the South, so I'm assuming we get fucking normal wide open GCW deathmatch rules, I would hope. Let's see. I had to look into that. Do you know anything about that, KG? Do you know what the athletic commissions did they give a shit about anything in Georgia as far as?
I don't think there is an athletic commission in Georgia. Is there?
Even better. I don't know. I really wouldn't know.
I don't believe so.
Ask.
I've never been involved. I've never worked in Atlanta or whatever, and I've never put on a show or anything or done anything like that in Atlanta. But to my knowledge, I've never heard of an Atlanta or should I say a Georgia State Athletic Commission.
I know there's one in South Carolina.
Okay.
Because I know
usually a lot of times it's where is there not wrestling, and then you'll find an athletic commission.
South Carolina, if there's blood, the match has to be stopped.
True though.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Wait, really?
Like
oh man, that's dumb as hell.
Yeah, stuff like that, and I've seen companies use it for like storyline purposes too. You know what I mean? Like the athletic commission made it stop because somebody got hurt, kind of thing. And
so we're gonna go fight in the next city over.
Yeah, we'll pick it up. We'll run it back to next week in North Carolina. You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
Right. Yeah. It's wild in a way. Yeah, I don't know. I think when state athletic commissions do things like make the promoters have a bond that they can pay all the performers, I think that's great. If a state athletic commission wants to mandate that people need to have a physical or a blood test, it's an added hassle to promoting, but that truly helps people, keeps everyone safe. If they want to mandate that some kind of medical care has to be there, that's great. Anything beyond that in terms of what the show is allowed to be is fucking preposterous.
Yeah.
Age limits, content restrictions, like
all
that sort of shit.
Think about you know about the hardcore music scene and shit like that. When you go to a concert, if you went to go see some mainstream band like Huey Lewis, nothing's going to happen to you. If you go see Rancid and you go right up against the barrier, everyone's going to be going crazy around you. We don't need a music commission to protect the people from being hurt by the people who.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense to me. You lost him for a second, but no, that's.
But, you know what you're signing up for when you go to these kind of play. Like if I buy ringside seats for an AEW show, I know I'm sitting right behind the guardrail. You know, I might get my knees bumped with a guardrail.
Sure,
you know,
you might have to get out of your seat and move.
Yeah, but I know if I'm getting ringside seats at a GCW show, I might have to clear entirely out of the area of my seat because Shane Mercer is going to throw Yo-Yo into the fifth fucking row.
Fucking Yo-Yo.
Or or someone's going to get put through a plate of glass in the ring and just the shrapnel, we know what we're signing up for as fans when we attend these things.
And even if you didn't, you watch what the people around you were doing and you adapt. I was trying to make the point before of that. You don't need a music commission to make it safe for you to be at a concert because some people are jumping off the stage and some people just want to watch the show. People can figure shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just dumb to me. Like in the same way, imagine stopping a concert because the singer crossed the invisible line between the stage and the audience and held the mic out or whatever. It just becomes dumb. This is content. You know what I mean? Like it's a show. They don't restrict what's in a play based on a government entity that often wants to take a percentage of the money and all this shit. Man, fuck that. If I may be so bold.
I had to dip off camera for a second. I was like, hey, what's going on over here? We'll come back.
Have you seen my posters?
Right? Oh, man. But, so Atlanta, dude, that's I can't wait. And then we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shows in Texas.
The Collective is an experience like no other. To anyone who's coming to Dallas for WrestleMania weekend, whether you get the package and get a ticket at a discounted price for every show the whole weekend to get to experience the World on Deathmatch, the World on Lucha, the Spring Break 1 and 2, on and on. The World of Deathmatch, if I didn't say that.
Planet Deathmatch?
Planet Death, sorry. Planet Death. And the World on Lucha. Big Gay Brunch.
I love Big Gay Brunch.
Big Gay Brunch is the best. I love being an ally of the community and being able to, in other words, I can support a community without being a member of the community, and I like being able to lend my voice to accentuate and
what he does with what Effie does with that show is it's amazing, honestly. I mean, that's the most fun I've had. Like at the last one, the one, and what was the last Effie's brunch? Was that in Chicago?
War Games?
Yeah.
That was the most fun I had the entire weekend.
It was
that show,
great.
It was so much fun.
Effie is a genius. Effie is a mastermind. And for me, it's just an honor to lend my voice and to enhance and amplify the voices of the LGBTQ plus community and to let them get their shine in wrestling, because there's no one is doing that. You know what I mean? Literally, there's no one. There's Effie. You know what I mean? And Effie could be content to just make it all about Effie and keep doing Effie things, which Effie does. But then Effie takes the time to like, hey, here's a platform for everyone to shine. Step up, get your shine, run it all year, elevate your game, get called up, you know, whatever it's going to be. But it's incredible what Effie does, and people like Paro being a key part of it. Even recent additions like Pollo Del Mar, and I could go on down the roster of everyone that's a part of it. But it's just really Ashton Starr comes to mind. You know, there's just so many great performers, and I love to see the empowerment. And whether it's AJ Gray, whether it's this show, whether it's Lucha, think of the communities and everything that you're supporting and spotlighting through this wrestling event. A lot of people will be content to just have wrestling all the time, but why not deliver on shows that are already super packed with performers and variety? Imagine them surrounding those shows with the most diverse and wonderful rosters and matches. There's no need to go anywhere else. You know what I mean? Honestly, like I have no desire. I might go by WrestleMania one of the day, I guess the second day, maybe, if I get a free ticket or something. But
that's what I keep telling everybody. I'm going if I get hooked up with a WrestleMania ticket, I might go.
Yeah.
But if not, I'm there for everything else, because it's just there's gonna be so much to take.
There's everything that I want to see is all happening in the collective, and no matter what you're into or not into, there's something there for you, and there's something there. If you've never seen it before, you can now become a fan of that style or that world. And then speaking of world, there's the GCW World's Fair with podcasts and food trucks and bars and merchandise vendors. Yeah.
That's like, I even looked into possibly, I was thinking about trying to get a table, but I was like, I think that's going to handcuff of my ability to go and enjoy and be part of everything. Cause I'm going to have to be manning my booth. You know,
I know of one performance.
Fly me in, Cass.
Yeah, there you go. You have a table minder. I know of one.
All I can do is sit.
There's one performance that is I've actually been working on bringing to the world or the GCW. There's so many worlds. Sorry.
Yeah.
The GCW World's Fair. There's one performance to that theater that I'm currently working on securing. And it's 95% done, so we'll wait till it's done. But I think people are really going to dig it and be surprised by it.
That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll do another show next week, previewing it again, previewing Atlanta more specifically. We touched on it this week, but I'm gonna be there. So we'll do something next week for this to hype that show up too.
And I don't know what's going on with my connection today. I have a super high speed connection. I'm able to stream and do all this stuff with unlimited capacity. And today,
same here, man. I don't know. Mine does the same thing. It's
always when you need it the most. You know?
Yeah.
No,
like I could put in a 2-hour Call of Duty run without a second of lag, but then here we are.
Yeah, it's all
Sorry
right,
about that,
dude. I don't care. We did great. It happens, but man, I had a blast talking to you, of course, as always, buddy. Plug all your stuff. Tell everybody where to find you on social. Plug all the Game Changer Patreon. Let's just get all that good stuff out of the way. Tell everybody.
I'll start with my socials are simple. OG Kevin Gill. That's me on Twitter. That's me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook too, just as Kevin Gill. I have a like page. It's mildly active. It's under KG Kevin Gill. And then dignifiedbastard.com is where you can buy records I've reissued from the hardcore scene, as well as you can get one of my last. I think I have 4 of those amazing Japanese designed KG shirts.
Those shirts are awesome, dude.
I think I have 4 left from the first pressing from 2X to L, I believe is the range that is available now. But there's a few of those left on there. And then, of course, GCW's Patreon. I think a part of the reason for GCW's continued triumphant success through the pandemic era and beyond has been the support of the fans, not just in person, not just on GCWmerch.com, but then being part of this Patreon community where we're able to be very frank and open in our discussions on the podcast, everything, because everything is just for the most diehard people that are paying for content to support keeping the lights on. And you don't have to, you know how it is. Like today, I'm being me completely, as you guys can tell, and I'm not really filtering anything. And that's part of the benefit of having just recorded with Brett last night. So I'm still in that mode. Normally, you know how it is. You have to be a little bit
Yeah.
guarded, or you don't want to say, "Oh, I don't want to say this," or blah blah blah, get heat. But we're just able to be completely candid and honest with the audience. I think they appreciate that. We've got a ton of great content on there beyond the podcasts and beyond the monthly mailings and the merch drops and the signed postcards and the World of Deathmatch podcast hosted by Alex Colon. So that's a great place to be and support. GCWmerch.com is, of course, awesome. All the official GCW merch, including signed event posters, like the ones you see here,
are all sharp too.
Are all. I have so many more. I have to get more walls. But that's all available at GCWmerch.com. And what else? My hot sauce, my buffalo, what up though buffalo sauce is about to drop from Snack Season Sauces. It's taken a bit of time, so I apologize to everyone who pre-ordered. But it's going into physical production. They now have the labels, and they'll start cooking. It's either this weekend or within a day or two. So everyone will be getting those, and then I should have some at shows and stuff like that. And of course, GCW Atlanta, GCW with the Collective here in the Bay Area. You can check me out on the Underground Wrestling Alliance, UGWA, where me and Pollo Del Mar do over the PA commentary with super pro lights, sound, and cinematography, and just call crazy shit. And there's been some infusion, Juicy Finau. Some of the performers live out here, Juicy Finau and people like that. But then there's like Matthew Justice has come by, other people have come by. So you never know who's going to pop up at UGWA, even MVP. But check them out on YouTube and stuff. They're a great young. What's the right word? They're just an underground company that does it, and it looks really cool. And then on the international side of things, there's a company called Middle Kingdom Wrestling, based out of China, and they have a YouTube channel, and I do commentary for them. And I recently got to call a historic match sponsored by the United States government, who put together like a series of shows to bring understanding and togetherness between the Chinese and American people. And their thought was to use pro wrestling and having two teams, each of a Chinese person and an American person, fight each other would be the ultimate show of brotherhood and whatever. And showing a new culture and a new audience, this culture of professional wrestling, which you've seen what it did for Japan and America and Germany and the UK, but China is like an untapped mine of audience, you know what I mean? And the fact that Middle Kingdom Wrestling is bringing wrestling to China, and they have a school there, and they're training people and producing content, it's fucking awesome. Check it out. They have Chinese language programming, of course, but they sprinkle in me to have American-based programming for people to watch on YouTube.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw that press release a couple weeks ago, and we ran the article on that, and I looked into it, and that's awesome, dude.
I just love it. It's crazy, like literally crazy to me that the United States government, the State Department, and the what do they call those people?
Like foreign affairs,
something like that. It's like what are they? But whatever it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The State Department and these people were like, what's a way we could do this, or how can we try to make an inroad or something? And to me, it's just so wild because, it could have been music, it could have been a movie, it could have been whatever, but instead it was a small wrestling tour through China. You know what I mean?
That's so cool.
Diplomacy through wrestling.
Yeah, literally. I said you should hear the commentary on it because I give it the full gravitas. You know what I mean? Especially in the opening minute or two and the closing minute or two. Like, oh yeah, the opening minute or two is like a reel of me doing like the movie theater read of the magnitude of the event, and I'm in love with it. So I hope everyone likes it if they check it out.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna look it up and watch it as soon as I can. That's awesome, man. Mike, what about you, man? Tell everybody what you're up to. Oh no, we got you, Kev. We're gonna have some stuff from you next week because you're going. We touched on it earlier. You're going to watch Revolution in the theater for the first time and check out a theater experience. You're gonna tell us all about that.
In 25 hours and 15 minutes, I will be at the AMC Metreon in San Francisco. I will be experienced. I would imagine they have to show the pre-show matches on there.
I'm sure the
buy-in starts at 4.
The buy-in will have to be there. Yeah.
Because it starts at 4. Perfect. So yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to experience the whole thing. I'll definitely have my own goodie bag, if you will. And
nice.
I'm just going to have the best time ever. I cannot wait to see wrestling in a movie theater. I've always wanted to see it. I love that AEW is always doing the core business so well, but then always being open to, because you never know when stuff's going to hit and ways to connect. And, it's less to buy a ticket to see it in the movie theater than it is to buy it on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
It's $50 on pay-per-view. It's $25 at the movie theater. And I'm media, so guess what I'm paying?
Boom, boom, boom. We took care of it for you, brother. Took care of it for you. So that's even
Much
better,
love.
man.
Much
No, man,
love.
I'm glad you're doing that for me. I'm glad I could send you out to do it, man. I'm looking forward to it. And thanks again for coming on today and talking with us. But
Hell yeah, man. You guys made the 2.5 hours seem like it was 29
we
minutes.
were shooting earlier. He's like, how long are we doing? I was like, we're gonna shoot for 45 to an hour. Here we are at 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's like the MLJ show, man. Mike and I did the same thing. We were like, we'll shoot for 45 minutes. And like an hour and a half. Emil, I gotta wrap this, bro. We were like nowhere near it. I was like, we gotta cut it. We're gonna be talking for another 4 hours here. So
Emil, we gotta go.
Cass gave me like the rundown for the shoes. Like, all right, we're gonna talk about last weekend. We're gonna talk about next weekend. Anything else that's coming up, and then we'll see what else we talk about.
Yeah, I knew how it was gonna go.
I was like, you and KG. No, everything else is gonna get talked about. So.
I know how this was gonna go. We're gonna be all over the place, but this is better. I think this was more fun this way than just to have a format that I tried to stick with. But we covered everything we needed. We talked about last weekend.
Yeah.
We talked about next weekend. We previewed a little bit of
and we
Dallas.
got to do extended things like break down the video game financing of Tony Khan. We got
all
to do
types of stuff.
State of television roundtable on the industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
All my thoughts and opinion. The opinions of KG are the opinions of KG. You know what I mean?
Hey man,
the only person I speak for is myself. So I'm glad to share my opinions, especially. I
love being able to sit here and pick your brain and hear your thoughts on things, man. So thanks for coming and doing this for us. And Mike, tell everybody about yourself, where you're going to be at, what you've been up to, where we can find you lately, and all that good shit, brother.
I'm gonna try to start writing some articles again if my actual work.
I get
schedule,
it. I get it.
My back's all fucked up, so sitting up to do shows, not great for me. But I'm getting back into it. I've been feeling a little better. So tomorrow night I'm gonna be back here on Body Slam's YouTube doing an AEW Revolution post show.
Hell yeah!
Talking about that. You might see me here. You might see me there.
Yeah.
You'll always see me on Twitter.
Wherever it's at.
Wherever
there you are.
I'm
bad at that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I had a blast with you guys as always. Tom, thanks for hanging out. Everybody in the chat, we had a blast with you guys. And again, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up on the video. All that helps out the algorithm. You can find me right here at Casshole with 3 O's, CASSHOOOLE. Make sure to follow the bodyslam.net Twitter as well, and all our social medias. You can find us everywhere at bodyslamnet. And man, guys, thanks again for hanging out with us. Yeah, we're somewhere here. I'm the worst, bro. I can't ever get my left.
Yeah, no, it's always backwards.
Yeah, and then when I think I got it, I'm still doing it wrong. I'm like, no, I got to go. Wait, this. Oh, anyway. But yeah, and you can find all of our stuff as well. Not only are we on video on YouTube and Twitch, you can find us on pretty much any podcast platform that you can think of. We're on it. Even some exclusive ones to like India. So we're on some of these big Indian. We're pretty big in India, guys. I don't know if you guys know that, but we're bigger
than Ringkut King.
That's our
geographically speaking.
It's our second
you guys
biggest
are bigger than Ringkut King.
It's our second biggest demo is the Indian market. So
hell yeah.
I'm all about fans over there. And hey, let's watch some Ringkut King and talk about it. I'm
How
down.
fun would that be? I've never got to watch a full episode of it, but I'm a fan of Sanjay Dutt, and I used to be a fan of Jeffy, aka Jeff Jarrett. And while we're talking about podcasts, I used to do a show called The Kevin Gill Show, and there's like almost 200 episodes of interviews with like Darby Allin, Adam Page, not Adam Page, Adam Cole, MVP. I could go on and on. It's like a Mick Foley. It's a who's who of interviews, all conducted in person. It's just audio, pro audio, but to all the viewers and listeners, go give a listen. Oh, sorry, I almost fell over these boxes behind me. Give a listen because there's a lot of cool interviews on there, and it's mostly evergreen stuff. Like it's not all. Jeff Cobb, Keith Lee, Keith Lee, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy.
That's cool.
Sean Waltman did 3 2-hour episodes. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. Like it's literally ridiculous who was on my show.
Cool.
So give it a spin. It's fun and it's evergreen. Like it's not so much about what happened on Saturday. It's more like what's happening.
Speaking of Mick Foley, I've meant to tell you about this. So I guess when we were in Atlantic City was when he was there, right? And you saw him.
Oh yeah.
Did you give him an ICP shirt?
No, I'm sure he probably has one from when he appeared.
He
right?
definitely put you over on Sirius Radio on an
What?
interview, because it was, I guess, the week afterwards he was on Shade 45 on on Rude Jude or somebody's like that, and I just happened to be listening to
What?
it. It was like a replay of it, and I thought it was recent because this was like a month or
Sure,
two ago. And I
sure.
always thought it was more recent. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, hearing him talk right at the end, I'm like, oh, this is a week after he did the GCW thing, because they were putting over his ICP shirt. And he was like, actually, I got that from my friend Kevin Gill, and he put over the GCW show the week before. So he mentioned, so I don't know if you got the ICP
maybe
shirt
in the past, maybe a long time ago, I gave it to him.
Yeah, but like, I go look if you can find that on Shade 45.
I will find it. He was on my, I don't know, I probably mentioned that. That's what brought this up, but he was on my podcast too, and just a great guy who's done a lot for me. I got to host one of his comedy shows at a huge theater here in the Bay Area, and I got
his comedy shows. They're so good.
Me and Will Hobbs did Powerhouse Hobbs did a little angle during Mick Foley's comedy show that worked so well. We went to other cities with Mick and did it a few times, and it's just hilarious because no one
he's
knew
from out
about
there where
Will
you
Hobbs.
are too, right? He's from
Powerhouse Hobbs is from East Palo Alto, just like whatever 40 minutes from me.
Yeah,
but all those guys came up out here. You know what I mean? And Powerhouse Hobbs was a guy who was willing to die to get a deal with WWE, and no matter how hard he tried, they somehow didn't see in him what we all see in him.
Dude, he's a star. I'm glad
watch him tomorrow.
Dude,
yes,
tomorrow
in a movie
night,
theater.
Oh man, that match is gonna be so fun tomorrow night. That's such a good.
They're gonna have to get some they're gonna need like double braced ladder legs for some of those boys.
Oh man,
and I fully expect there to be a seventh guy, even though they said they offered that seventh spot to Scorpio, and he traded it for the Paige Van Zant signing thing to get the title match. There's still going to be a seventh person.
Sure,
right? So maybe that's where we get Swerve. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Certainly where we probably get Swerve.
Too bad we can't get Jeff Hardy till the 9th, my birthday. So like Wednesday. That's not going to happen. So it's like we can't get him.
Wednesday. That's Dynamite.
Next Dynamite is the first time Jeff Hardy can show up. Tony even mentioned that himself last week.
Just in time for Matt Hardy to act all erratically in a trios match tomorrow night.
Yep.
The Swerve thing, since we haven't seen him on TV yet, and it's one of the few AEW signings that seemingly is fully everyone knows about it, but it hasn't been acknowledged. You know, and he's wrestling. Swerve is going to be at Ring of Honor WrestleMania weekend. I wonder could it be Swerve is going to be a foundation of Ring of Honor? You know what I mean? In this new era, or you know what I mean? Because they need people to be in Ring of Honor. You know what I mean?
You need,
and I'm not saying Swerve could be a top guy in AEW. He's that fucking good. But in other words, he's so fucking good. Is he a guy you build Ring of Honor around?
Yeah, you're like, here is my number one draft pick.
I never thought of it that way, because I was like, they're going to debut him. They'll probably just pop him right into the TNT title almost immediately. You know, like I figured.
And they might.
I figured he just shows up tomorrow, wins a ladder match, and wins a TNT title. Like, like normally they don't hotshot people, but Swerve is like someone you would bend from that norm for.
But then Keith Lee's in that ladder match.
Yeah,
right? He's got to win it.
But also, like for me, I'm like Wardlow.
Oh, well,
just for story purposes, I'm like, we
got Wardlow, Hobbs, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Ricky Starks, and Christian.
Christian's there to be the ladder match legend in a ladder match.
Yeah, he's there to quarterback that match for everybody. Make sure people know what's up. Produce that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, there's so many other that's actually a hard one to do a prediction on.
It probably I would bet that it comes down to, so to speak, Wardlow and Lee, and then that's what creative and all that is for. To because whoever's going to win, it has to make the other guy still be a force. But that's the magic of a ladder match, because there's no shame in if you take some insane bump and a dude climbs the ladder. It's not like you tapped out or you got pinned.
Yeah.
You just you were on the floor while someone climbed the ladder.
Yeah, everyone's still protected coming out of a ladder match.
Sure, but it'll be aren't the bet? I saw someone tweeting the betting odds yesterday on the match.
I haven't seen that yet.
I thought, I could be wrong. I thought maybe Keith Lee was the odds-on favorite.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, looking at that match, I'd say he's probably the favorite. I would assume, without even looking at Vegas odds and shit. But yeah,
I love those Las Vegas odds on Wrestling Creative.
I love
so
that's
weird.
the thing now. I absolutely love that you can bet on wrestling. It's so fun to me to think that's such a thing.
I should try it sometime. Maybe I'll bet on a match for tomorrow, so it's like more exciting when I'm in the theater.
I'd be more comfortable betting on AEW than if I was like betting.
Oh yeah,
like you bet on WWE, you might not even get the match you bet on.
But at the same time, because WWE is so crazy, you could win the match if you just look at the lineup and are like, oh, what's the dumbest thing that could happen, and then bet on that guy winning. And
the thing with WWE though, those Vegas odds, you can usually tell the outcome of the big matches by looking at the Vegas odds. Correct. Because they get dialed in and they know the actual outcome already, and you start seeing the line slide.
100%.
That is usually the way that goes because they're that dialed into it.
They're looking at the format of the show and being like, okay, on paper it says this guy's winning. It's a switch, and then the odds.
Or they know dirt sheet people or know people that are actually working. They get the little inside information because it's technically not, It's a performance art, so it's not. I don't think there's anything illegal with knowing the outcome and adjusting your line accordingly.
Sure, or just analyzing the marketplace and the news and etc.
Yeah, fun stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's gonna be a fun experience tomorrow, man. I can't wait to hear how that goes for you, man. That's gonna be fun.
I'm very excited. Thank you again for the opportunity. I look forward to publishing my first work on bodyslam.net.
Yeah, man, and we'll get you all set up for that. But guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We've been in for almost 3 hours now. We'll let you go back and do your thing, man. But guys, thanks for coming. Game Changer Weekly. We're here every week. We'll be here next week. I might have a special guest. I don't know who's going to be with us. You never know. I'll surprise you guys. But we will preview the Atlanta show. I'm going to be there for that one. I'm going to get out of my house. I've broken back or not, I can make that for the trip. It's close enough to where, like, in worst case scenario, I'll go stay at my grandma's house and be like, fuck it, it's close enough to crash. I'm not worried about it. So
sure,
you can count on me being there for that, and I will definitely see you guys in Dallas too. I've already got my tickets there.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Thanks to everybody who supports in and believes in Game Changer Wrestling. And if you're just watching this for some other reason and never saw GCW, do yourself a favor. Explore the GCW YouTube page. Look at some of the matches that are up on there, and you'll just know right away, like, oh, this isn't like your daddy's wrestling or whatever.
There's some. And if you don't know, if it's like, it's death match, too much blood, guts, that's not for me. That's not what it's about. Go check it out. You'll find something for you, man. I promise you. I tell people that all the time.
100%. Listen, I mean, just if you listen to all the stuff we were breaking down, you know what I mean? Like there was a death match in all of our discussion.
There was a match at a GCW show on the weekend that you could have taken that exact match and put it in like a group stage of a G1 tournament.
Yeah, that's what I saw that written. That
was that.
Christian and Bailey was a G1 match on a GCW show.
Easily absolutely. A G1 caliber match on a GCW show, and that's easily. So there goes a lot to say that you're doing a good job breaking that stigma of just being a deathmatch place, and more people are watching, and everybody's checking it out, and it's just, and you get new fans too because of that might have not thought they liked deathmatch wrestling, and then they get brought in and they see what it's really about, and they see how these guys work and how these guys go, and you get new fans, and that's such. It's so valuable to have such a wide array of wrestling that you can present to your audience, and you guys do
a million percent. And when to any fan that's listening, like look at the lineup for Atlanta. I think that really kind of sums up what GCW is about. You're like, there's a death match on the show. There's an insane lucha match on the show. There's the state-of-the-art technical match on the show. There's, you know what I mean? Like that to me is wrestling. Like you want the whole enchilada. You want the variety of it. You don't just want the filling of the burrito. You want the burrito packed with all your favorite shit, covered and smothered and chunked and all that shit.
And you're going to get it every time.
You're going to get it every fucking time from the last Outlaws. And why is that? Because Game Changer Wrestling keeps going and going and fucking going. Not just the tagline, it's the truth.
It's the truth. And there's a reason that literally the Game Changer Wrestling content that we put out on Body Slam is the most watched and the most fucking downloaded every time.
Wow.
Honestly. And I look at the numbers. I see it like what's the most popular every time. We get these ones that take off and certain random shows get more than everything, but consistently this fan base, GCW fan base, is the most diehard consistent, and they watch our stuff the most.
And engagement in this day and age is everything, Cass.
It's
everything. Know that. Everyone knows that. And the GCW fans are the ones clicking the links. They're buying the stuff. They're supporting the shows, and they are truly part of it, and that's what makes us so unstoppable. It's not just Brett Lauderdale and Giancarlo and Joey Janela and everyone that makes it so great.
Mhm.
And hey, it's KG on commentary, it's Dave Prazak, it's Lenny Leonard, and then and the production people and GoPro and all that. But it's these fans, like they're to me, they're equal with everyone else that I just named.
They're just
and
as
the
important.
referees and all that.
It's the atmosphere when you walk in and you go to that show. You don't get that anywhere else in wrestling right now. And
I agree.
I will say that every show because people need to get that in their head that like if you think it's not for you, just go try it.
It is for you.
Just go try it.
If you like wrestling, if you're here right now, it's for you. There's no
Yeah.
fucking doubt.
Yeah, if you don't know it until you try it, and you're gonna be surprised. You really are.
Shout out Mittens.
Shout out to Mittens,
Oh, love that
wrestling
dude,
ambassador.
He is everywhere, man. I love it.
There's a 99% chance that if it is a show on the East Coast and you see a man with a flag, it is that man.
I just thought of one funny joke, like where you were saying it's a very astute observation, where some people think GCW is just death matches. So they're like, I'm not a death match person. I don't want to watch it. But I always think one time I saw this comment on Twitter and it's endlessly hilarious to me. It's we used to have all these good death matches in GCW. Now we just get fucking yo-yo. So I always say that to Dave Prazak, like off mic or whatever. Like, we used to do this, like the idea of like, all right, it's match 1, it's the yo-yo scramble. And then match 2, it's yo-yo's mystery partner. And yo-yo is awesome, but I just love the idea that we used to have all these different things. Now we just have yo-yo. It just is hilarious. I love it. And hey, everyone has an opinion, but I mean, Yo-Yo's great. I'm glad he's in Bloodsport. I love to see him in GCW, but I certainly don't think by any means anyone else is being held back or restricted by the amount of yo-yo that is on the show. And why shouldn't he be on the show? You know what I mean?
He's so good.
Fucking good anyway.
But you can put it for anything, man. We used to go out and have fun. We used to always do cool shit. Now we just get yo-yo. You know what I mean?
Every time I get yo-yo, I'm like, oh shit, where's he gonna land? What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like I get excited.
Hell
Man,
yeah.
oh god. So last weekend you were there. Was Brett losing his mind over the chairs, like the chair fucking budget? Because I was watching all these golden chairs just get destroyed. I'm like, oh my god, he's got to be just fucking losing his mind.
He didn't seem to be like he was a little bit further away from me at the commentary position than he usually is. He wasn't as mad as he was during the famous incident. You know what I mean? The
one before.
Warner.
Yeah.
Oh,
then there was the one the weekend before. The Mance Warner one was
hilarious.
great because I got to. That was what brought me up. I was going to say because I saw the one the week before where he puts the pictures like $580 of chair damage or whatever the fuck it was. And Mance reached me. He's like, "What? None of it mine, baby," or whatever.
Man, stop breaking all the fucking chairs.
He's like, I didn't break them.
I didn't break him.
And that's on the commentary mics. Like they're screaming at each other from 1 foot away over the commentary mics.
I can't wait for Mance to come back in Atlanta.
It's next week. It's next week.
I'm so happy.
I can't wait.
Lord.
I was so happy when I saw him in New York. I'm standing on the corner catching a buzz on the street, and I see him and Justice walking down. They see me, they get all excited. They come like, "What are you doing, Daddy? What are you doing, baby?" And I'm like, "You know what I'm doing." He's like, "Oh shit!" And they just sat there and hang out talking to me for a few minutes, and just. I love those guys, man. They're so much fun. So
great. Second Gear Crew is real deal, man. They're the best.
They are, man. And I love it. Like somebody said, what's it take to be in the Second Gear Crew? And I think it was AJ's like, you got to be able to party with us all night. And I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'm Second Gear Crew because I've done that with you guys. So let's go.
Sure. Those guys go extra hard. I've partied with those guys all night, but like I've done it a handful of times. They do it every
constantly.
Time.
I love it, man.
They get a hotel room that they don't need, or at least there's beds in the hotel that they mostly don't need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're never in there. Or
exactly.
Or
if they are in there, they're not like in a sleeping state.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, the bed's there to put shit on. The bed's there to pile your clothes on or to sit on.
Squishy
but
table.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to that so much. And I mean, dude, Effie is Atlanta. That's his hometown, man. I mean, you're going to see.
Cannot wait.
If you think that Effie crowd, I mean, if you've never seen an Effie Atlanta show, it's something different, man. Just because that crowd knows that Effie is Atlanta. And I've seen him in center stage before doing it for CWF Atlanta or Championship Wrestling from Atlanta. And I can't wait for that GCW crowd to experience Effie.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to be a part of Game Changer Wrestling at the world famous center stage, beaming live to the world on Fight TV.
I'm excited just thinking about it, man. That building it's You're gonna love it, bro. You're gonna love it.
I cannot wait.
It's
Cannot
right
wait.
downtown. It's right downtown. So
Really?
you're right there in the heart of it. Yeah, like right off near William Street, right there, kind of the.
Okay.
Yeah, right midtown, man. Right there where everything needs to be. It's right in the.
Wow.
It's on Peachtree, I think, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
and
It's
like
gonna be a
this,
good time.
yeah, there's like a parking garage right underneath. It's cool. So even though you're right downtown, like you don't really have to go far to get there. Like
Sure.
they lead you in. You can park right underneath and
Like Corrigan Hall.
walk right in, man. It's cool as shit, dude. So you're gonna have a blast. I'm looking forward to it. So
Oh, I can't wait. I hope
We'll have some
I
good
look forward
stories.
to seeing you there. I look forward to seeing all the fans there and all the GCW people there. It's gonna be fucking great.
Can't wait. So guys, until next week, thanks for hanging out with us, and have some good stories and all that shit next week for you guys. So thanks for everything, guys. Appreciate it.
Love you
We're
guys.
out.
Peace out. Thanks for having
Love
me.
you, KG.